Black vibes. Yes, family. Glad to be completed this time. That was the hope. It's a vibe. Yes, family. You know how we do, y'all. You know how we do, family. It's a blood brain. It's a vibes. Large up yourself, big up yourself. It's just to let the Selah Shalom on the water and pool. You know how we do. It's a vibe. Yes, family. Peace to everyone in the chat. Create a gang in the building. You know how we do. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Give me a 1 in the chat if you could hear me clearly. Then if we move forward. My dog's raving havoc in the back there. Peace to the righteous gods. Yeah, I just wanted to come on, you know what I mean, for a few. Just chop it up with the Creator Gang family. And all of us tuned in listening. See my people in the chat. Lucy, I see you. Matter of fact, Lucy gonna hop on board. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let the people speak today. First and foremost, you know, we got the debate coming up this Saturday. I'm not sure what time yet. I gotta ask tonight what time. But we got the debate, me against Tazaryach, which book is better for our people. You know what I mean? I got the link in the description for the tickets. You know what I'm saying? So whoever want to hop on them tickets, go ahead and hop on it. But it's gonna be an interesting debate, you know what I'm saying? Gloves is off, we in the dojo, headshots and body blows. That's gonna be thrown at the guard, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, we're gonna get it popping. It ain't gonna be no mercy on the biblical God. We're gonna expose him as being false. You know what I mean? Shown from the biblical and from the Awaspy's perspective. It's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting. So now, we do a little quick promo. Hold on. Do a little quick promo. Do a little quick promo real quick. Me. You know what I mean? Quick little promo. That's supposed to be created that you said it's not the most high.
I go left field side. I go left field side. I don't want to hear nothing. That's the second time. 3 strikes you out.
They fail to realize God could be the goddamn messenger himself and deliver the message without having to go through a middleman. And that's what we're about to prove.
The word God in Hebrew is interchangeable. It could mean angels. It could mean divine.
So why would the Lord send out a lying spirit when he himself said it's abomination? Because your Lord is an abomination and a goddamn lie. You said God.
I didn't interrupt this nigga the whole time. You
cut yourself. That's why.
Go, how many places you want me to go? If I go to Revelations 13, it says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Get surprised by all the hype because he's showing all these scriptures and precepts. The argument is that the Most High is the Lord.
We're not talking about the New Testament. Right. We're not talking about those precepts. We sticking to who this God is that's supposed to be created that you said is not the Most High.
I go left field side. I go left field side. I don't want to hear nothing. That's the second time. 3 strikes you out.
They fail to realize God could be the goddamn messenger himself and deliver the message without having to go through a middleman. And that's what we're about to prove.
The word God in Hebrew is interchangeable. It can mean angels. It could mean divine.
So why would the Lord send out a lying spirit when he himself said it's abomination? Because your Lord is an abomination and a goddamn lie. You said God.
I interrupt this nigga the whole time.
You cut yourself. That's why.
Go. How many places you want me to go? If I go to Revelations 13, it says, "He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Surprised by all the hype because he's showing all these scriptures and precepts. The argument is that the Most High is the Lord.
Quick little promo, family. You know what I mean? Quick little promo. We got the debate coming up. It's going to be fire. You're going to have to spank their God, let them know that their God is not the Most High, but the niggas floating in space, sitting in a throne, supposed to be creating, with Jesus Christ and the angels creating. Nigga, we about to expose all that. All that's false God talk. You know what I mean? Come on, let the vibes go on a low bass, yeah? Let the music play on a low vibes. It's not known. That's the link if anybody want to hop on. Anybody want to hop on. That's the link right there. What y'all think? What book y'all think is better for our people? Bible or Awaspy? There go the link for the family if them want to hop on, you know. And we got Lucy in the building. We got the Godfather Lucy.
What's going on? Peace and light. Peace and light. What's good with you?
Peace to the righteous God, man. What's on your mind, King? What's goody?
Man, I'm over here chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just falling back. You just called me. I just woke up from a nap, so.
No doubt. So you know what, man? Earlier, like we was chopping it up, man. You was explaining how the Hebrew Israelites had two laws. You want to go in on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, you know when we read Awaspy, I gotta look it on my phone real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, take your time, ain't no rush. Peace to the righteous God, I see you, King. Peace to the elder, I see you.
Yeah, I pull up my Awaspy. What was it in the
Boy, stop playing. Selah Captain just canceled it on the Car Chronicles. Stop playing with me. So I never hit me up if that's true. Not saying you lying or nothing, but I wouldn't doubt it. Shit, nigga, better back the fuck out with the fire I was gonna bring, nigga. Shit.
Did he back out or is the debate still on?
Say it again?
Did he back out or is the debate still on?
Somebody just left a comment on the screen. It said, Selah, Captain just canceled it on Car Chronicles. That's what he said.
Mm.
So we'll see. I'll get word if that's true or not. But either or, it's whatever. It is what it is. Okay, son said I'm serious. Yo, son, I'm serious. You think I'm gonna fuck around and sit here and lie to you? I'm serious, God. I got you, King. He said, Captain said he told Ty. No worries. It's all good. I ain't gonna slander the man and all that. Oh, see the nigga running. I ain't gonna do all that. I'm too grown for that type of shit. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Shit come up, shit happen. But what I had in the archives, nigga, the ammunition I had, definitely gonna give niggas a run for their competition. It wasn't gonna be no easy walk. It wasn't gonna be no landslide. Fuck that.
I gotta go to the Book of the Ark of Bond. That's where I gotta go to. Hold on.
Peace, peace, Queen. I see you. It's goody. I see you. Yeah, matter of fact, let me see. I think you told me the chapters in the chat, actually. Let me see if I can pull up the chapter real quick.
13.
You said the Ark of Bond. Let me see.
Yeah, chapter 2013. I gotta.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up right now. 2013. Let's see. All right, yeah. Book of the Ark of Bond, chapter 20, verse 13. You want me to read it?
Yeah, you want me to pull up? You think I should pull it up on the screen, or you just want to read it? Why you?
I mean, I can read it. You can pull it up. It doesn't matter. You can pull it up.
All right, hold on. Yeah, pull up so the people can see it. What chapter it is again? I'm sorry.
Book of the Arkaban, chapter 20, verse 13.
Chapter 20, verse 13. All right.
Let me.
I got it highlighted. All right, let me share my screen. Got Dreadful Cosman in the building. Where's that big man? Where's
Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yes, I.
Okay. So you don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. That nigga running, cuz. He running.
He running.
You know what it is, man. He running. I'll take that blast for you. I'll say it. That nigga's running.
That nigga tiptoeing around the tulips now, huh?
Yeah, man. It's too much information, man. It's too much light. Them niggas ain't spiritual, bro. That's what the problem is. Hebrew Israelites are not Israelites. They just Hebrews. They don't have no spiritual anything in their body. That's why these niggas is out here looking crazy the way they are. They don't have no spirit. They spiritually dead.
That's a good point to bring out.
You're not going to receive this higher light if your spirit is dead, man. You have to have a live spirit to receive this light. Period, point blank. That's why them Judah Nazareth niggas, and, you know, that's why niggas can't receive the shit. I even think JJ got a little bit of light in him. That's why I think he gonna be with the gang soon.
JJ gonna be creating a gang in a minute, huh?
Yeah, we gonna have to put that nigga on, man.
I'm gonna tell you this: after that Tazaryach debate, a lot of niggas would have been considering after what I had on the archive on a plate for the niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if that cat's running, bro. It wouldn't surprise me at all, man. Because it's like they don't want to dive into the book, and they think that I don't understand how they could battle without even diving into the book. One chapter ain't gonna cut it. Nepal reading one chapter, I mean, that's not gonna cut it. You're not even getting an eighth of what the book is about reading one chapter.
Facts.
But I just wanted to come in and say that real quick, man. I know you and Lucci about to chop it up, man. I just wanted to say that, man. That nigga's running, cuz.
No, that's real talk, King. You know what I mean? Niggas got to keep it 100 because we street niggas. So when we send something phony, we gonna pick it up. Whether if we dealing with knowledge, football, I don't give a fuck what the topic is. If we still dealing with those instincts from the streets. If you a real nigga or a fake nigga, that's always gonna be in niggas because we come from that element. So just because we shift to the knowledge, like that shit ain't gonna be detected. Niggas act like that shit ain't gonna be detected in the knowledge arena. But we detect the same
exactly.
bullshit.
And you can't talk the shit that Cap be talking and then have the title captain and then be ducking debates, man. You can't do that. You got to accept all smoke, period. Right. And we know that coming from the streets. You're not ducking no fades in the streets. Even if you feel like you might not win. You know what I'm saying? You still going to fight that fight.
Right.
That's just what it is. But I'm going to let y'all go, man. Bless up. Create a gang.
Salute to the righteous God, man. So yeah, Lucy, I got the verse right here. I'm going to share the screen and then you can go ahead and start dropping it.
Heard that.
That's my brethren, y'all from California. You know what I mean? We got the West Coast niggas stuck in the Awaspy. Start playing with us. All right, here we go. Let me pull up the verse, stretch it out. All right, the floor is yours.
All right, best. So basically, in the book of the Arkaban, chapter 20, verse 13, it says, "Not in many days Moses wrote the Levitical laws for the inner temple of Jehovah was in spoken words only, but the outer temple was written, so that it was said the Hebrews have two laws, one which no other man knows, and one for those who are not eligible by faith, being those who were called Leviticans, but not Leviticans in fact, but hangers on, who had followed the Israelites out of Egypt, and who for the most part had no God, little judgment, and no learning." So that the Leviticans are telling you basically is there's two laws. One there's written, and one there's oral only. And the oral is for the inner temple. And the Leviticans, or the mixed multitude that came out of Egypt, with the Israelites, they weren't eligible by faith to, have the laws of the inner temple. You know what I mean? The laws that Moses put in his breast or whatever. But Awaspy is clearly telling you that it said that it had two laws.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy because the strange thing about this is that the inner law was only known by those in the temple. Who, like, first it says for the inner temple of Jehovah was spoken only. So if you that in the temple to hear what was spoken, you didn't even know these laws. Because we know the Levitican law. That's what basically we follow in the Bible is the Leviticus law. And the 10 commandments, I guess they'll associate that with the Leviticus law.
The Leviticus law would be probably like the whole book of Leviticus.
Exactly, fact. That whole book.
When it deals with the animal sacrifice or whatever, because the Levites, when it took to be a priest, you had to be a Levite. You know what I'm saying, for that time. Right. But not all Levites were priests. Only the sons of Aaron, according to the source, only the sons of Aaron were priests or high priests. All the other Levites that weren't of the progeny of Aaron, they would have been servers, ministers to the priesthood, what have you, and they would serve the mixed multitude, the congregation that came out of Egypt with the Israelites. That's the congregation that they're speaking to. You know what I mean? The Levites were over the mixed multitude, not over the Israelites. The Israelites didn't have Levites over them. You know what I mean? They had Joshua over them, Moses, then Joshua. And Joshua wasn't a Levite. Joshua was from the tribe of Ephraim. But he was minister unto the, he was prime minister to the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't over the mixed multitude. He was just over the Israelites. The Levites were there to be over the mixed multitude because the mixed multitude ate meat. That was their diet when they were in Egypt. You dig what I'm saying? So since they had that diet, they couldn't just, transition over to a vegetarian or a vegan diet. The Most High had Moses write the Levitican laws, basically the laws for how to sacrifice, how to, take out the entrails, wash the body, stuff like that, because you're dealing with raw meat, raw meat. So they didn't have no refrigeration and shit like that out in the wilderness. So that's why you had to wash, you had to sacrifice it a certain way, to wash the entrails, take it out, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? That's what all that was for. That's just how to properly and cleanlessly, prepare the meat. That's all the book of Leviticus was for. It's not even for Israelites. And the book of Leviticus in reality is supposed to be like a secret book. It's not supposed to be in the eyes of the public. It's only supposed to be for the priests to see and read. But, Ezra and them put them in there.
And the crazy thing about that is, like, when Amos say that there was worshiping Moloch for 40 years in the wilderness, and then they said that in Jeremiah 7:22 that he didn't command them concerning burnt offerings and sacrifice. So it's interesting that the whole book of Leviticus gives you a detailed account about burnt offerings and sacrifice, peace offerings, sin offerings, all these offerings, which Jeremiah said that was commanded by God. And then Amos is verifying that, hey, the 40 years they was in the wilderness, it was Moloch they was dealing with. So that's interesting to see that if that is true, we have a detailed account of what Moloch wants for a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. It was also, them worshiping other false idols or what have you, the Lord God being Baal, which is also Moloch or what have you. So that's definitely true. You know what I'm saying? But the Levitican laws were there for the people that, their diet was meat, meat, fish, and what have you. So they needed to have that procedure, the proper procedure. Basically, that was their version of what's the word I'm looking for? Serve save. When you work in the restaurant industry, you got to be serve save certified. You got to know about bacteria, temperatures, how do you store food? You're not supposed to, there's one way we store food in the refrigerator, because I work in the restaurant industry. So it's like you have everything that swims at the top, everything that walks on two legs, or that walks on fours, walks on the ground is in the middle, and everything that flies is at the bottom. So seafood at the top, beef below the seafood, and then poultry below the beef, because those are all different temperatures. They have different bacteria. So, you might cook your seafood at a certain temperature, but you fuck around and you store chicken over seafood, and then that chicken leaks into the seafood. You can still eat the seafood, but you're gonna have to cook it longer, which now the seafood's going to be overcooked if that's what you eat, just so you can make sure you got that bacteria cooked out. You know what I mean? That's why you have to store your food properly. Refrigerate the food.
Louis a Levite, Louis from Haiti. Don't get it twisted. He's a priest. He's a Levite priest, so he know what he's talking about right here. He said he in the food industry. They got to deal with that. And you know what? I'm just teasing you, but that's absolutely correct, though. You know what I mean? And that's some good insight for us who's not in the food industry, or when we storing, whether if you still eat meat or not. It don't matter if you're storing your meat, how to store it in the fridge. Because like you say, you don't want no beef dripping on some fish The next, you know, you sick and you wondering how you sick, and it's because of that shit, the shit you overlooked. You know what I mean?
And the plagues that are associated with the tabernacle, like while the Israelites camp around the tabernacle, they can't be around it or what have you, is because of the plagues.
You talking about that pit bull? Oh, all right. Say it again, King. My bad.
No, I'm saying you got, you know, when you got certain commandments for the Israelites, like how they around the temple, they can't be around the temple because of the plagues. Like whenever you see like plagues associated with the tabernacle and the iniquities, that's because the iniquity is the sacrifice, the killing of the animals. So the priest's duty is associated with iniquity. And on top of that, you know, the Israelites got to worry about plagues. The plagues are the foodborne illness. You did what I mean? Salmonella and shit like that. That's what they got to worry about. Those are the plagues the Bible is talking about. It says the Israelites didn't eat meat according to the Awaspy, and to certain instances that you read in the Bible, evidence of that. Since that wasn't part of their diet, they had no business being, you know what I mean, in the temple, near the temple. You did what I'm saying? Right. That was their thing. But also the holy artifacts were in the tabernacle. The holy artifacts of the Israelites. The Levites weren't able to touch the holy articles of the Israelites. Right. Why? Because they sacrificed meat. They were dealing with raw meat all day. So they would contaminate the holy articles of the Israelites. But what I was saying about the law was the Awaspy is clearly saying that there's two laws, you know. Right. But when you go to the Bible itself,
matter of fact, it's another section in the Awaspy where it talks about the Leviticans and the oral law. Let me see if I can find that. Go ahead and talk. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, there's those parts.
I don't even got it with me.
But the majority of the Tanakh was written by Levites. The majority of the Tanakh has Levitical scribes. You know what I'm saying? So if you read it, and both these sources right here come from the P source, which are the priestly source. These are the Aaronids.
Yeah, matter of fact, go ahead and break that down. The Yahwehists, the Elohists. Go ahead and touch on that real quick.
So those are different source materials. Those are basically different guilds of scribes that lived at different times. And they have varying beliefs. So, and it's the documentary hypothesis. I forget who brought it up. Somebody Wellhausen. It was Germans that brought it up. That's why J, when they would say Yah, whatever, they would say Jah or Yahweh. So that's where you have the J source. That's why it doesn't say why. But the J source is supposed to be the Yahwist. And you recognize them because every time they mention the God's name in the Bible, they say Yahweh. You know what I mean? And then you have the Elohists. The Elohists are from the northern kingdom. The Yahwists are from the southern kingdom, right? And the Elohists, they use terminology Elohim, but you know them to be associated with the northern kingdom, one, because they use Elohim, and a lot of their sites, their cultic sites, a lot of their literature is centered around the northern kingdom. Same thing with the Yahwist group. A lot of their literature is associated with Judah and that region and that patriarch or what have you. So they already know that the writers obviously have an affinity with Judah, so they must be southern priests. I think the J source is the oldest, then comes to Elohist. Then after that, you have the P source. The P source are the priestly group. They wrote the majority, if not all, of Leviticus, and they deal primarily with the cultics or the the rituals and the tabernacle and the Urim and the Thummim. They're the only ones that talk about the Urim and the Thummim, which the priests use as a form of divination by lots. You only read that in the priestly source. The priestly source starts off the Bible in Genesis chapter 1. Yeah, I mean, they start speaking. Then when you get to Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, then the Yahwehs are now speaking. That's when you see the Lord God or Yahweh Elohim is now speaking. Those are two separate sources speaking. So, and also the priestly source, they venerate Aaron. So in their text, when you have things like Moses' staff, and you have when other authors are talking about Moses and his staff or what have you, they just speak about Moses. But every time the Aaronids are speaking in the text, they always have the need to bring up Aaron. We know Aaron existed. He was with Moses. But in certain instances, you see Aaron doing things that Moses should be doing. Like one instance is called Moses' staff. That's not ran by an Aaronid. But then when the Aaronids are speaking about the staff, they call it Aaron's staff. And then Aaron are doing things that Moses was supposed to be doing. So they look at Aaron as greater than Moses. Hence why, you have Aaron coming at Moses or, chastising Moses or whatever. In certain instances in the Old Testament, Moses is lacking or whatever. That's because the Aaronids will have you believe that, because they looked at Aaron as greater than Moses. You know what I mean? And then you have that competition between the priestly scribes, which is P, and then the Deuteronomists. These are the Levites, the ones that are non-Aaronids. and they were in competition with the Aaronites. That's why when you read their text, they always talk about the Levites and the priests. In their opinion, all Levites are priests, but according to the Aaronite material, the priestly source, only the Aaronites are priests. So right there in the text, you could already see competition. You have one group of Levites that have the priesthood, and then you have another group of Levites that are coveting the priesthood, but they don't respect the current priesthood. And that goes back to Korah and his rebellion. But since those are the sources, they're all primarily Levi, except for the J source, the Yahwist, right? But the two sources I'm about to read, they come from the P source, and this is what they say. In Exodus chapter 12, verse 49, it says, one law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. That's Exodus chapter 12, verse 49. So right there, it's telling you that there's one law. And in Leviticus chapter 24, verse 22, it says, you shall have one manner of law, as well for the stranger, as for one of your own country, for I am the Lord your God. So now the Levites are telling you, the sons of Aaron, that there's one law. But Awaspy just told us that there's two laws. So why is it they're telling you this in the Ezra Bible? Because the Ezra Bible was mainly written by Levites. It was authorized by Levi, which was Ezra.
Right.
They never had control of the people. You get what I'm saying? So in order for them to have control of the people and have authority over the people, they put it into their minds that there was only one law. And since a lot of them weren't educated and they didn't read, and it was the Levites that were learned and educated, they're the ones that gave the law to the people. So they just accepted it, that there's one law. That's how they put everybody under their thumb, that they had no business having authority over.
And the
So
crazy thing, and to add on real quick, it's crazy because during the time of Ezra, the oral law would have been lost. So even when he reestablished the Tanakh, there wouldn't have been no oral law even present for that. It would have just been a written law. And now that I think about it, it's interesting because when the Essenes was started up, they was given the oral law and not the written. So it's like, that's interesting how like when the Tanakh was brought back to Israel, for a counter reaction, the Essenes was brought up under the oral law, in which in return Yahshua come about. But I just had to add that because I kind of find it interesting that, like you say, these niggas had one law by the time of Ezra under that one, under the Tanakh. Of course, we know under Luamon, but how they counted that by raising up the Essenes and reenacting the oral law through the Essenes. That's interesting. But go ahead, okay.
Yeah, when the Essenes also had literature that was outside the influence of the Levites. That's why they had extra books or what have you. You know what I mean? Community scrolls and stuff like that. The angel scrolls, supposedly, you know, they were outside the influence of the Levites. Levites didn't really deal with, they're the ones that brought in the monotheism. They're the ones that try to cover up the fact that there was Elohim, you know what I mean? Or at least the Aaronites did.
Right.
It's just different scribal traditions. That's really what it is. Different scribal guilds that had varying beliefs that lived at different times, and also different stages of the language. Like the Yahwist group, that's an earlier form of classical Hebrew, and then the Elohis is another stage of Hebrew, and then the priestly source is another stage of Hebrew, and the Deuteronomists are another stage of Hebrew. And the Deuteronomists, the book of Deuteronomy, that was the book that Hilkiah found when they were renovating the temple. They found the law code, which was in Deuteronomy, and that's what they took to Josiah. That's why the things that Josiah says and the things that Josiah do mimic what you read in the book of Deuteronomy. That's why a lot of scholars agree that the book that what was it, Hilkiah found, and Hilkiah, I think, is the great grandfather of Ezra. He found that scroll in the temple, and he gave it to his scribe Shaphan, and then Shaphan went and gave it to Josiah. But it doesn't tell you the interval of time that it took from Shaphan to take, Shaphan taking the scroll, what he did in between that time, and then he went to Josiah. He might have, put some propaganda in there, because whatever Josiah read in there, remember, he rent his clothes, and then he goes on this crusade. He starts destroying idols or what have you, whatever. But again, the things that he does mimic what you read in Deuteronomy. So that's why scholars, feel that whoever wrote Deuteronomy also had a hand in writing, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel. This is what you call the Deuteronomistic history, the book of Joshua. The Deuteronomists wrote all that shit. And again, those are Levites. Those are the non-Aaronites. Those are all Levites that don't come from the loins of Aaron. The priestly source is all the Levites that come out of the loins of Aaron. These are the Aaronites. And you know them by, this is how you know the source criticism, by the language in the text, the words that they use, because you see it continued in the text.
Facts. Hold on 1 second. Keep talking. I'm calling Sonetta real quick. He just called an hour when I just seen it. Hold the floor down. Yeah. If I get him live, I'm gonna tell him we live. See if I can get him on the air talking.
Let me see if I can find. Look this up real quick.
I mean, yo, this is gonna be, I got Sonetta on the phone, family. What's going on, Son?
All right, I'm glad you got me on the phone. This is a public announcement. This is the first time you hearing this, Selah. That's why I've been calling you like crazy to let you know that Captain Tazaryach won't be able to do the debate, brother.
Oh, man.
He called me. He said that, something came up where he had to attend to it. So what he said was he wanted to push the date back. So I told him I can't do that, brother. I can't because the ticket's already being sold. Well, I can't do that. Right. So I was getting ready to go live today.
Okay.
And talk about it. So what I did was I called up Lexx. You know who Lexx is?
Yeah. I know Zion, of course. Yeah.
Zion is way more powerful than Tazaryach because he's a linguist.
Right.
See? And so Zion said he definitely will fill in that slot if it's all right with you.
Yeah, because
there you go. So you still got the heavy hitter. So I want everybody to know that Lexx is now stepping in for Captain Tazaryach. I didn't want to just get you anybody. I had to get you somebody that was top dog. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's right and exact. I feel that.
Yeah. So Lexx said he definitely would love to step in, and he's more better than Tazaryach when it comes to the knowledge-wise. I'm saying.
Yeah, most definitely. He's more vast. I'll give him that.
Yeah, so step your game up, man. That's why I was calling you so I could get you prepared.
Yeah.
So you don't think you're going at Tazaryach. You're going at a different animal now. He don't believe in the King James, but he believes in the Torah and he believes in the Bible.
Got you.
See, to me, it's the same shit.
Yeah, it is. It is the same because I'm gonna use basically the same. I'm gonna use the same presentation that I got because it's basically a
yeah. And he believes in Jesus. He believes in Jesus Christ now.
Okay.
You know, so that right there is to give you a little background on him.
All right, so I, you know what? All right, cool.
It's being made as we speak right now. The flyer Tazaryach is being taken off the flyer.
Okay, cool.
Maybe in a couple of hours.
Do Zion believe that Jesus Christ and the angels made the heavens and the earth? He believe that?
I don't know. But we can get him on the phone.
Yeah, I'm just curious if he believed that or not. Just that alone. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but you know what? If he's going with the Bible, you know what they say. You can't be confused, bro.
So he believed in the New Testament.
Yeah, he's with the New
He
Testament.
believes in Jesus.
He was one time an Old Testament Hebrew. So now he's both. He's new and old now. He's crossed over to all both of them.
Damn, so he accepted Paul? He accepted Paul's word? That's crazy.
No.
If you can find out if you believe that Jesus Christ created the heavens and the earth, then let me know, because I got that in my...
I'll put y'all two on the phone later on this evening.
All right, cool.
Questions here, asking you questions.
All right, cool. That'll work.
All right, my brother. So I'm glad you're all right with it.
Yeah.
I know it's had you picked up, but I understand. You're working.
But no, it's all good because the bulk of the debate, it's addressing the Bible. So regardless of who it is, it don't even matter, to be honest. I just wanted to know if he believed.
When you get off the live, call me. I just don't want to say nothing live.
Yeah, I got you on that. I got you, King.
All right, brother.
All right, bless up. All right. So y'all heard it from Sonetta. Tazaryach backed out. You know what I'm saying? But Lexx is gonna come in instead. So that's cool. I fuck with Lexx too. You know what I mean? That nigga Guyanese, I think. He West Indian. I fuck with my West Indian people hard. So this should be an interesting thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had
but Lucy, that's supposed to be up, man. No, Lucy, you're supposed to beat up Divine Prospect. That's what you're supposed to beat up.
Yeah, but I'm not in no position to be doing no kind of debates. We could always do a dialogue. A dialogue went before, but I'm not.
Nigga, we don't get this money and put you in a position to get these debates. Get you what you need, a laptop, a mic, and a mixer. That's all you need, right?
Yeah, it's the stuff like that, so I can show and prove.
Hey, we're gonna put some fun to get Lucy straight. So because Lucy got as you see, Lucy got a plethora of information as y'all see him display it. So I'm gonna help you get straight because I got a couple extra, material shit that is sitting around. I can just mail that shit to you. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the Levitical information is for Zion because Zion associates with the Levitical priesthood.
Well, if you associate with that, then shit, boy, he in a tundrum because now you got to explain this burnt offering to this God who only is enjoying this of a sweet savior, because that's the root, that's the purpose of the offerings. When you read these burnt offerings and sweet, these matter of fact, hold up. Let me just show my screen real quick. Right? When you go to like Leviticus 1, right? This is the law of the burnt offering. Now, when you read the burnt offering, when you get to the sole purpose, when you go through all the killing the bullock, cleaning it and all that, when you get to the end of why you're doing this, it's right here. Look at verse 1 through 9. Chapter 1, verse 9. After doing all this, was preparing it. You're preparing it from Leviticus 1 through 8. You're preparing the offering. And Leviticus 9, it tells you the purpose, and it says what? But his inwards and his legs shall be washed in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar, but to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savior unto the Lord. You're doing this to get his Lord a sweet savior. That's the sole purpose of these burnt offerings. So a nigga could enjoy the aroma of dead flesh. See that? And then it goes on to the next offering on how to kill it and prepare it. So I'm like, yo, what type of God niggas is, what type of God were we following at one point? Where the sole purpose of a sacrifice is for him to enjoy the aroma of the smell. I'm like, well, goddamn, at least show me some spiritual progression. What happens, that's it? Like, and ain't nobody questioning this shit? I'm like, come on, yo. You gotta be real with yourself, yo.
I just wanted to clarify because I watched some of Zion's videos. I don't watch all his shit, but I've been recently, you know what I mean? He has come out being messianic. He understands. And I knew this back in like 2016. That's when me and him was dialogue. I was giving him information in the inboxes. He probably don't remember me, man. It was so long ago. He ended up blocking me too because I started showing him there was contradictions in the Torah or whatever. He didn't really have no arguments towards it. So, he's egotistical like that and shit. So at the time, he wasn't really being public with the Jesus thing, but now he's being public with it. He found enough information. So he goes into Isaiah 53 and stuff like that. But recently, he doesn't really read the New Testament. He might refute like Matthew, the Gospels or whatever, but I never heard him say that he be reading the New Testament. He just agrees that, Yeshua was Messiah and he came, and to some degree, it sounds like he's making it sound like he pre-existed. But with Zion Lexx, man, you got to remember he's rabbinical. So he gets into the Gemara. He gets into all that rabbinical, shit. That's why I said that's what makes him a different monster. And then he knows Hebrew, too. He knows how to read that shit. So he tries to, like, lean on that. Like, Hebrews is...
that's irrelevant because, they say actions speak louder than words. So if you saw the actions of this God, reading Hebrew is irrelevant.
Of course.
Like if his God sit on the throne, I don't care how much Hebrew a nigga read. Nigga, that ain't the Most High. And then when we go to Genesis, Bereshit bara Elohim, and we go to Elohim and we go to the Strong's Concordance, and if he decide, I don't use the Strong's Concordance, he could do the Eliad, the lexicon. It's gonna be the same shit. And say, he don't do that. Maybe like Mighty Hebrew will make up his own shit. When we go to the scriptures and he walking through the garden, he's sitting on the throne, he running around looking for niggas. So it's like you can't dismiss that with Hebrew. Because actions is going to determine the behavior of the God. So if you say that creator, we say creator is ever present. And we can prove that with Awaspy that Jehovah is ever present. He's not in the image of man. But then when we go to the Bible and you tell me that Elohim or Jehovah is ever present, and then we identify him sitting on the throne, all that Hebrew is out the window now. Because actions speak louder than words. So all the etymology of the word, breaking down Elohim, Allah, El, and going down to the primary root word, nigga, I know that too. I used to study Hebrew and learn this shit, but when I found out that shit was irrelevant, I stopped because that's not going to spiritually raise my grade. The niggas who persecuted and killed Yahshua spoke the same language as Yahshua. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, nigga, language is irrelevant.
Yeah, just have the strong.
I feel you though. I feel what you're saying though. You know what I'm saying?
Just have the Strongs open, which just when you're doing, you don't got to show everybody, but just have the Strongs by you and have it Hebrew interlinear by you because that's his thing. He always says it when he's in a debate. He's gonna run to Hebrew, and that's when he says he's gonna.
Like my whole presentation is always because we Hebrews anyway. So I go to the King James and show the etymology back to Hebrew and show the synopsis and the references to the word. So if we look up God, it's gonna say H430 in the Strong. We go to that. It's gonna say Elohim plural. Now we're dealing with plurality when it's supposed to be one God. I'm going by what they saying. So I'm not going to interpose nothing. I'm like, this is what it's saying. We claiming that God is one, but here it's saying he's two in the very first research of the child word in Hebrew, Elohim. And then when we click the child word to get to the next parent word, it'll be Allah, Elohi, Allah. And it's going to say even idol in there. And it's going to say angel in there. And then when we click to El, it's going to say angel, idol, then it's going to say true God, Jehovah. So they made Jehovah into an idol, Yahuwah, based off their own Strong's Concordance. And that's the works of James Strong's. So if he even tried to brush that off and go somewhere else and say, well, look, I'm going to use the lexicon of Eleazar, it's going to be the same shit. And if you try to say, well, no, God is not a man, then we're going to go to the verses all throughout the Bible where God is running around killing niggas and sitting on Mount Sinai, writing with the finger, giving it to Moses. Moses seeing God face to face as a man seeth his friend. So it's like, y'all worshiping an angel, my nigga, regardless of how you try to twist it. And the Awaspy is exposing these false gods, these angels, because they usurp the souls of mortals to worship them instead of worshiping the ever-present, who Awaspy is saying, I'm the ever-present Jehovah. I'm the real motherfucker. That's what Awaspy is saying. I'm the real Jehovah. Nigga, these false niggas, I know y'all had that Bible for 2,000 years plus, but I'm letting you know that, nigga, that's a false God who stored all that information in there, collected sources and amalgamated the sources and confused the sources. These scribes, false pens of the scribes. And now a new book come to clear up all this shit and niggas can't see the light. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and be aware how you, like, I'm not trying to tell you a grown man, you speak how you speak, you know, when you debate, but you know, when we get on, we talk like we're loose because we all know each other and shit like that. We talk real street, but Zion Lexx is one of those people. You say the word nigga and shit like that, especially if you call him a nigga, but you don't mean in a derogatory term.
Nah, Zion Lexx, I deal with niggas accordingly. So
okay, yeah, because he's gonna, you know, he's gonna cling to that. Yeah, he'll cling to.
Yeah, Tazaryach different. You see what I'm saying? If I'm dealing with divine prospect, it's a different energy with these different people because not everybody gonna be on the street nigga shit. You know, I'm with them all. Nigga, let's deal with it. Let the information speak. I ain't gonna be up there, yeah, you bitch ass nigga. I don't even do that type of shit. You know what I mean? I let the information speak and may throw a shot at the God. You know what I mean? But to say I'm gonna attack him personally, nah, man, don't do that shit, man.
No, not even attack him personally. You know, sometimes that word might slip out. He'll cling to that. That's what I'm saying. Like I've seen him in the past or whatever. He'll cling to it. He's like, you see how fast? Like when he had that conversation with even though it was a while, Seti, and Seti was responding to him and he said, yeah, you can be whatever, nigga, whatever.
Ignorant as hell though. You know, Seti ignorant.
Yeah, I know that. But as soon as Seti, you know, Seti didn't even say nothing derogatory to him. He just said nigga or whatever. And as soon as he said that, Zion made that last few minutes of that dialogue, he made it all about the word nigga. He said, you see how fast I'm a nigga now.
Let me tell you something, yo. I'm West Indian. I know some Rastas. If you say that shit around them, they're gonna check you, my nigga, like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm aware of that. I know about that. I know who to talk. Not saying like nigga running from niggas. You won't say that. You know what I mean? Like niggas talk sometimes. You know what I mean? That comes out. Even he done said it sometimes. But meaning to say that, I feel what you're saying because it's some Rastas that I know in the priestly order that niggas don't even curse. And if you come around cursing, they gonna check that shit. Yo, Rastaman, we dealing with brethren. What happened to you? They gonna say what happened to you. You know what I mean? And you better straighten up when they say that because the next thing may be something going upside your head or they dragging your ass out the motherfucking the courtyard or wherever the vibes is at. I done been witness. Nigga done checked me before. I'm talking about elder Rastaman, you know what I mean? And checked me before and throughout my years coming up as a shorty saying certain things that wasn't appropriate in a certain setting. And this is a debate center, so I ain't got no reason to be nigga this. I'm showing the information. I'm exposing that the biblical God is an angel and not the creator. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. And then we put it in a fashion because we hip hop. We come from a hip hop generation. We come from the battle rap generation. So we're gonna put it in a way so people can feel it. They can be like, "Ooh, damn, how you gonna come back from that? Damn, shit like that." You know what I'm saying? But the nigga shit, nah, man. Come on, I ain't with the nigga shit like that. Unless he knows all that.
He knows all that. He probably talked the same way behind the scenes or whatever. But like, he's just gonna use that. I just know he's gonna use it as a stratagem because when he did that shit with Seti told me, he's all right, let's get off of that. And Zion kept it going with the nigga shit, kept going and going and going. I'm like, all right, I see what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, I see if you bring it up, you say, don't call me that or whatever. But now what you're trying to do is you're trying to like run this dude's time. He's trying to break off his points. You know what I mean? He's going to try to use that. I'm not saying he's going to do that now, but I just see certain things that he does. You know, the dude's egotistical. As soon as you put him on the ropes, he's going to try to reach that shit. That's all I'm saying. Like,
no.
nigga
You
shit
know
ain't really that serious.
You're absolutely right. We all got ego. We all got pride. And see, I ain't the type of nigga to front and act like niggas don't. Oh, no, nigga. Everybody got a little ego. And once your shit get touched, you'll flee. That shit'll come out. That shit'll come out in anger. It'll come out. Because everybody got it. You can't front. It's how you handle it. It's how you handle when you under pressure and get exposed. It's how you deal with it. You're going to bitch up and curl up like a bitch. Or you're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, nigga, you got that. Nigga like me going to be like, nigga, you got that off. Boom. You know what I mean? If I can't counter it and it's something that it's a drop, I'm like, nigga, you got that. Let's keep it moving. Because that's just one blow out of many more to come. But, you know, some niggas to take a hit and niggas that get in their feelings and I went through that shit, man. Come on, man. I done debated niggas face to face, nigga, like with the elder, nigga. We face to face. So if it was on a popping, nigga, we gonna get it on a popping. And his boys are dead. Nigga, and I had the big Sonny Gallo behind me, nigga. That's a hitman. That's a real fucking live killer. And he was my security. Big fat nigga. You would never think that nigga could do what he do. That nigga's a motherfucking master martial artist and a gunsmith. That nigga done blew plenty niggas away. And he was there at the debate watching my back. Because he know how reality get down. He like, yo, reality, that nigga just got the knowledge. He fire with his shit. He do what he do. He don't bother nobody. I'm going to roll with this nigga because I don't know these niggas. And if these niggas pop off, I'm going to pop off. See what I'm saying? So I ain't had to do shit. I ain't even bring my piece with me that day. For me, it was just like, it's just the information. But the elder, when we had the pre-discussion, he was popping big boy shit. I was at his crib. He was talking hella shit, but he wasn't talking shit to me. He was just shitting on the Awaspy. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, you can talk all the shit you want about the book. I feel you, nigga. I'm with you on that. Yeah, the white man wrote the book. Hee ha ha, nigga. You gonna debate the information or what? I'll debate you. We can da. And that's how that debate started. You know what I mean? But when I told my man about the joint, he said, nigga, I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you just in case. That was the motherfucking that was Peter, the Peter nigga who cut the nigga ear off when the Roman tried to size up on Jesus. That was that nigga. Big Sonny Gallo, that was that nigga. He like, I dare one of you niggas to press reality or Selah Shalom. See what happened to your ass. He was there for that. He a Muslim nigga. He a Muslim. He a Muslim. I got a Muslim watching me. Nation of Islam nigga. Moses Powell lineage. For those who know about martial arts. Moses Powell, Mutakabir. These are straight killers with their fucking hands. Sonny Gallo started teaching me the martial arts outside of just boxing. How to kill a nigga how to bust a nigga ass quick. He said reality. He said, Selah Shalom, I'm going to show you what works. I've been in prison. I did time. This nigga bit a nigga ear off in jail. He showed me techniques. Said, this is what's going to work. Fuck all that other shit. He ain't even teach me according to the style of how martial arts supposed to be taught with the capo, with the training. This nigga, I'm going to show you what works. He taught me a bastardized style of martial art. And guess what, nigga? Bitch, I put that shit to work one day because I had to put my hands on a nigga for being disrespectful. And guess what, nigga? That shit worked. Knocked the nigga clean the fuck out. Police ambulance had to come pick this nigga up. You feel me? So we ain't no pussies over here, and we deal with respect. You know what I mean? I'm very respectful. You know what I mean? Because I done seen niggas get their shit split, and I don't want to end up like that for being disrespectful. So I used to live in East New York, Brooklyn, right across from the projects. I done had my days in these streets, man. You know what I mean? I know who to be respectful to, and I ain't even gonna say not disrespectful to, because I don't walk around disrespecting niggas. Anytime I crack a nigga head is when they disrespect me. That's it. If I call niggas and say reality got a problem, they gonna come deep because they know I don't fuck around with people. I don't bother nobody. So if they say reality calling, we gotta ride, nigga, we gonna ride. When we be filming our set, nigga, my niggas is out there gripped up with AR-15s on the street, nigga. You come to my set on Atlanta's Ugly, my niggas is gripped up with AR-15s right there on the seat, trunk open, ready to go, ready to blow. Ready, nigga. Like, it ain't nothing. That's how my niggas is moving. And they don't know shit about the motherfucking Awaspy. They don't know shit about what I'm doing here. But they know that nigga's a real nigga. He a truthful nigga. Because I don't read them Awaspy. I display and show Awaspy through my actions, which is brotherly fucking love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Do unto your brother like you want to. I show these niggas that, and they see it. And they respect that. I ain't never read Awaspy verse to none of these street niggas I be around when I'm filming Atlanta's Ugly. But these niggas are blow for me like if I was fucking Jesus Christ, nigga. Real fucking talk. You know what I mean? Yeah, yo. So what's all love over here, man? We all street niggas, and we all got a background and history of doing shit or not doing shit. You know what I mean? So Tazaryach ran from the goddamn debate, said he had some other shit to do. That's cool. Zion Lexx took the place. I may have to switch up a couple things because I had certain things tailored to that nigga. Tazaryach. But it's cool. Zion Lexx would be a better debate anyway, because Tazaryach would have got his ass handed to him. You know what I mean? Now, Zion Lexx did with Elohim. He did with the God of the Bible. So all I'm going to do is just show that the God of the Bible is an angel. It's like we've been doing. You know what I mean? Regardless of what niggas come at with the Awaspy, regardless of what niggas come at with us, the overall objective of the Awaspy is to acknowledge there's a creator and he's not a man sitting on the throne. And that the gods and goddesses are men and women raised up from corporeal worlds, raised spiritually, and take on the title and ranks of gods and lords. And some of these gods and lords, when they take on these ranks, for whatever reason, they'll decide to deceive mortals and angels to believe that they're the most high sitting on the throne. And then they'll get people to believe that these are your false gods. This is what the Awaspy exposed, the false gods. Any god coming to you talking about he the most high and he look like me or he look like you, meaning to say he's a man or a woman, and they telling you that they the most high creator, beware. Be mindful. Be mindful of what you following out here. Just because it's the Bible don't mean that it's right and exact. Just because it's a Awaspy don't mean that it's right and exact. Just because it's the Quran don't mean that it's right and exact. The only way you could know if it's right and exact, by judging it, by reading it, by analyzing it, going through, see what makes sense, what don't make sense. And that's with any book, any holy book. I've read the Bible, had the Jerusalem Bible, had all the goddamn different versions of the Bible, the Book of Enoch, the lost books of the Bible, the forgotten books of Eden, the apocryphal books. I did all that shit in my early 20s and late teens. Read through them books. The Gospel of Barnabas, all them, the Apocrypha of Abraham. You know about the Apocrypha of Abraham? Yeah, nigga got that shit floating around somewhere. Ran through a lot of books, yo. But the Awaspy is a different monster. It gives you more insight on what goes on after you die. Some niggas don't believe in life after death. Well, nigga, that's on you. That's a subjective. I'm not trying to convince you. Or I'm showing you that there's information out here that is letting you know that there's life after death. It's information out here that's letting you know that there's a creator and he's not a man. Someone say, well, how did he know this if nobody from the dead came back to him and tell him? The people who wrote this were the dead. They were the spirits of the dead that came and transmuted this information. And then in the Awaspy said this information was compiled from the libraries of heaven. The same way we have libraries on earth. So if your ass want to do some research on Christopher Columbus, you can go to the library and extract information from Christopher Columbus. What they're saying in the heavens is a similar proceedings. I'd rather know that than know nothing and to be walking around like, I don't know what happens after we die, when there's a book giving you insight regardless of how it came about or who it came about through. The information is here. So when you cross over and you lost in the spirit world and you ignorant, there's nobody to blame but you. The information is here. It's up to you to receive and take this information and make yourself a better person, or leave it alone and find another way. Ain't no restrictions over here. You got free. Creator gave you liberty to do whatever the fuck you want. You dig? It's a blood clot vibes. Let's run the rhythm, family. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all get this understanding. Yes. Shout out to my nigga Lucy. It's a blood clot vibes. Where's somebody? Where's the big man? Where's the big man? You see the man them run? The postal them boy them run off. Lick off shot them boy them run off. Grass clad. Where's the big man? We see the pleasure in the building. Family. You want to time, man. You already know. made a Zion flex and took the torch. You know what I mean? Shout out to Zion, man. Fuck y'all niggas talking about. I fuck with Zion, you know? I fuck with everybody, to be honest. It ain't that serious to me. It ain't like a nigga walking around here hating niggas over information. I fuck with everybody. I fuck with the conscious community. Because shit could be worse right now. Shit could be bad for niggas. You see what I'm saying? I remember the year 1999, Y2K came around and niggas was talking about the World Wide Web, that this was the worst shit for niggas. Y'all remember that? Who was around? 1998, 1999, when the Y2K was popping and the World Wide Web was a deception. Man, don't get caught in that World Wide Web. They was showing you the dollar bill and how the dollar bill had the webs in it. You remember all those conspiracies early 99? Don't fuck with the internet early 99. Y'all remember that? Now look at this. Huh? Damn near 24 years later, all on the internet, doing debates, niggas making money, niggas doing all type of shit. Niggas be thankful, my nigga. That's what I'm saying. Be thankful for this shit. Be thankful that we can communicate across the world with each other like this. This is the Cosmon era. This is the era the Awaspy was talking about that's going to come. The Cosmon era. The technological age. The inventive age where man will be flying and driving and shit like that. Come on, man. Be thankful for this shit. That's why they don't see me worked up over no goddamn debate or getting worked up over no goddamn information. Fuck out of here. Shit too real for that. Just finished walking, King? Matter of fact, the wife was just over there walking and shit. I may go take a stroll a little. What time is it? 1? I usually go around there about like 5. You know what I mean? Yes, my brother. That's Zachariah. Who? That's my brother. He live in Atlanta. He out here in Atlanta with us. You know what I mean? I see the God in the park every now and then. We'll chop it up. You know what I mean? Peace to the God. Like I said, all my people in Atlanta who in the Awaspy, man, we need to link up one day. We all get together. Bazel, Tazaryach, whoever else in Atlanta. You know what I mean? We link up, yeah? We outside. Oh, Lucci said drop the link. All right, let me drop the link real quick. Before I fly off. Now, I got a couple minor things I may have to switch up for the debate, you know what I mean? Because if Zion, I know Zion don't believe Jesus Christ created the heavens, the earth. I hope he don't believe that shit. Because if not, then I got to remove that portion where I talk about that for Tazaryach. Because I had a portion where I exposed that. You know what I'm saying? We got Lucy back in the building. Peace to the righteous God. What's good, King?
Peace. Yeah, I don't know what happened. You froze up, and then next thing you know, the StreamYard done cut off. So I was like, oh, shit.
I was releasing too many vortexy and energy through the goddamn airwaves, talking that street talk, but we good, though. We good.
Yeah, I was just trying to put you on game about him, bro, because I watched him debate before or whatever, and sometimes he can get petty. He's come a long way, but...
Facts. He has come a long way, yo.
But he never dealt with something like Awaspy. You know, I'm sure he's privy to it because you guys have been on Sinetta. Y'all been bringing it to the forefront or what have you, but, you know... Like, I know he's doing his research. You know, he likes to say he's meticulous. So he can be somewhat of a slime ball sometimes.
Yeah, so, yeah. You know, that's the first thing niggas usually do is do the research the author. And, oh, he was a white man. Okay, he a white man. Oh, he was a dentist. This is the 1800s. You know, everybody went through that. I went through, but I ain't go through it like trying to renege this shit. I just was like let me see who's behind this. Like, oh, okay, this the guy right here. I'm like, damn, okay. How this shit came about? Oh, damn. Oh, man, all right, that's peculiar. That's abnormal. That's not normal to receive a revelation like this. But who am I to sit here and be like, that ain't true? Who am I? This nigga telling you how the book came about. If he lying, he lying. That's on him if he lying. But the information in this motherfucker holds more weight. The book's still here. The nigga long dead. John Newbro been dead for how long? Nigga, the Awaspy still here. You know what I mean? So
one thing those
Zion Lexx is Messianic. Somebody put Zion Lexx as Messianic.
Once
that means he believes in the Messiah. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, he's definitely Messianic now. He's not necessarily a New Testament believer. He ain't no Christian. He's just an Old Testament cat that has an understanding of the Messiah and the Messiah suffering servant, and he believes Jesus is the, Mashiach ben Joseph. You dig what I'm saying? Not the Ben David. So he believes in the Messiahs. He reads the Gemara and the oral tradition, the Talmud, and all that shit. So, he's well versed into all that, especially the Hebrew, the grammar, and the way the words are, the roots. He always runs to that. That's his thing. But I know one thing I don't know if he's well versed in. I just know he doesn't deal with is source criticism. So I deal with source criticism. You know what I mean? So like if he tries to bring up Isaiah 53 or anything like that, they try to make a point about, okay, there is a suffering servant or whatever. I know by source criticism that Isaiah didn't write Isaiah 53. You know what I mean? Because I know about the documentary.
There was like 3 different authors on Isaiah, the book of Isaiah.
Yeah, there's various authors in all the books, but he's not. I don't know if he's privy to source criticism, but I know he doesn't deal with source criticism, and I haven't seen him come against anybody that deals with that in their debates when they're going against the Bible. They deal with source criticism. I don't really meet a lot of people who deal with source criticism. Like, I'm one of the only people that research it. That's why when I get on here, it's not too many people doing that. I'm not the only one doing it, but I've realized that a lot of people aren't really doing the source criticism. If they did, it will open up the understanding and clarify a lot of these contradictions or whatever. If you understand that the Bible is just a culmination of traditions, they came from different competing traditions. They came from different competing priestly guilds that existed at different times. That had different varying beliefs. A lot of people don't get into that. You know what I mean? Zion.
That's the, like, when you go to Bible. My man, he went to school he went to Bible college, and on those academic levels, that's when they get into the sources. That's how I found out it was like 3 different authors for Isaiah. And they were like, yo, nigga, like, if you look at the writing style from Isaiah, like 1 to 30, then from 30 to 44, from 44 to 50, whatever, it's different writing styles. And you know what I mean? They were just touching on like what you touching on now and shit.
Yeah, that's all that is, and it'll bring clarity. And then he's really gonna understand, like, oh shit, this cat's on something different. Because I look at the history of the text, so, how the text was written, how it came back, the authorship, the writing styles, or whatever, the language. I'm privy to a lot of that. I'm not an expert in it, but I pride myself a little bit in researching that. You know what I mean? So, because the Awaspy brings it up, it tells you there's contradictions in the book. It talks about the false pen of the scribes or what have you. So that's how you deal with the contradictions in the book and the false pen of the scribes, is by source criticism. That's really the only way you can do it.
Exactly. That's what every book. We critique the Awaspy the same way. We don't see. That's the thing with us. We don't hold the Awaspy up like it's the Holy Bible or it's a holy book, nigga. We run through this shit and critique it if we see things that ain't making sense, or things that are like, we put a question mark. We talk about it and try to figure it out, or put it aside later. But it's a whole bunch of shit that do make sense, that do coincide, and you know what I mean. So, and then the thing with the Bible is, or the rabbinical approach or whatever, it's all going to come back to Ezra, 450 BC. That's when the Tanakh was compiled. So regardless of what you come with, all the books start off with, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
He deals with the other books too. So like, he is into the oral tradition, and to him, Enoch and all that, he's going to entertain that. So I think it'd be easier. You can go back and show him all that.
Yeah, because Enoch, he was white as snow, but for those who try to clown the Irons, whoever got an issue with the Irons being white and yellow, then I'll just go to Enoch and say, well, look, Enoch is white as snow, and he's supposed to be the progenitor of Ham and Cush. So it's like, you make that make sense if you got a problem with the Irons being white and yellow.
No, now that you're debating Zion, or supposedly going to debate Zion, are you going to do the same debate, the same topic, or are you going to do something different?
No, the topic is which book is better for our people. So the only thing I would have to change out, to be honest, is just the fact that's why I asked him online, do he believe that Jesus created the heavens and the earth? If you do, I could keep that portion in there. But if you don't, I'll just eradicate that portion and just leave what I got. Because what I got is like, first I'm going into creation on the first. So he deal with better sheep, but he deal with that. You know what I mean? In the second portion, I'm just going in the black on black crime among the Israelites. The last part, I'm just going in on the talent ranks of angels.
He does believe that Jesus died for the sins of the people, so he does believe that you need a righteous sacrifice in order to. He believes that the righteous can die for the wicked. You know what I mean? To a certain degree, and then he'll try to explain it away, saying that when a righteous person dies, it makes wicked people want to, stop and think and repent of their sins. That's different from saying that somebody died for your sins. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Even if he came with that, it's like, I got to stop it to that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, the purpose of salvation is really irrelevant once you see what the end game of it is in Revelations 22. You're going to come down to the New Jerusalem and you're going to be in a box.
Well, basically, it's what Madim Ali said in the comments earlier. He said, not that you stick to, but if you use the books of inspiration, the book of discipline, that's really all you need when it comes to dealing with on a community level. The books of judgment, when it deals with charity and shit like that. That's really what. What were you saying?
No, you're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The benefits of you know what I mean? Like the responsibility of
like how we deal with one another, how we give each other advice, and you know what I mean?
Exactly, facts.
Not what is it? Abetting habits or what have you. You know what I mean? Like the charity is a big one. How you give charity unto your people, not coming across a homeless person or a cat that's always in need of money or whatever, but he ain't doing nothing good with the money, and you keep giving him money, all you're doing is supporting his habit. You know what I mean? You can get into stuff like that. When you're dealing, that topic don't really need cats to be dealing with if Jesus pre-existed and shit like that. The only reason I bring up Jesus with him is he believes that a righteous person has died for your sins. So you could probably bring that up in the debate, but I think it's safer if you definitely use the book of discipline and inspiration, even the book of judgment, because those are the doctrinal portions of the Awaspy. You know, that's the meat and potatoes of the doctrine of the Awaspy is judgment, discipline, inspiration.
But see, and you're absolutely right, but before that could be understood, before, like, I have to clear up this God concept. That's what got to be cleared up, because that's where everybody lost and puzzled at.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sinetta be beating them niggas up at, because the Sinettas letting them know, like, nigga, your God is not the Most High. How you doing all these things? And they over here defending this so-called Most High God. And the way Awaspy is exposing these gods, and then the way Awaspy lays out the talent ranks of angels for the heavenly kingdom, I think the people need to see that laid out. And then, of course, I got the grades and rates. You know what I mean? The service done unto others, how you're graded for that. Like that'll in a nutshell will you know what I mean, show inspiration and discipline as far as, well, they're dealing with service done unto others. And then if they need to get more intricate, I'll hit them with that. But just the overall structure, because they don't have an understanding of the heavenly kingdom. That's where these niggas is lost. That's where anybody who could pick up the Bible could challenge these niggas and be like, oh, well, if you said the God the Most High, then why is he looking at Moses face to face? Why is Jacob wrestling with God and body slamming God? See it, Ray. But if you knew that these angels were not the Most High, but ranking angels in the kingdom, you'll have a better understanding. That's like saying that Joe Biden is God, the Most High. You see what I'm saying? And the vice president would be the Lord. But these niggas thinking that Joe Biden is the Most High. Joe Biden sent out a commandment. He sent out a new law. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Biden moves around in a plane. Joe Biden sits on he sits among the council. But our people think that's the Most High. That's why that got to be cleared up first, because that's detrimental to our understanding. Following up, because the false God can tell you to do charity too. I know Muslims and Christians doing great charity for the church, and they're doing great brotherhood among each other. But that's in service to a false God. So I gotta break the goddamn chain of the God before, because once we break the head of the God, that righteousness that they're doing is still there. Now they just got a different mindset to know that, okay, who I was praising to was not the creator. Now that I'm praising the creator, now I could still do my works accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, you still got to know how to do charity, because like you said earlier, you could give a man $5 and the nigga go buy some liquor and get drunk, and that physical act you thought was a good act was a spiritually bad act. Awaspy do say that. So that's deep, because I went to some of my past good deeds. I thought, I remember this one dude, his proof of what Awaspy just justified with that. I remember I was downtown one day, the dude was asking, he was looking bummy, I'm hungry and thirsty, and gave a nigga like $5. Boom. So I go down there and do what I do on my way back. I see the nigga with the beer can drinking, drunk as fuck. And it hit me. I was like, damn, the nigga got me. But then at the same time, I'm like, although I thought I was doing a good deed by giving the nigga some money, he went and brought a beer, got drunk. And what happens if he would have got hit by a car? To a degree, that wasn't entailed on me. But if I would have said, you hungry or thirsty, come, let me buy you some goddamn food. I'll buy you the food. All right, come on. Buying the food and then breaking the change or whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta, even with the homeless, you gotta check these homeless niggas. Some of these niggas be trying to run game, and some of these niggas be genuine. And you gotta check them niggas at the door.
Yeah, and even buying them shit, I know that you could do that. You could do that the first few times, but you gotta also. It's like what I learned is in the Awaspy, that when you give charity is meant to be a one-time thing. The best charity you can give a person is to make them self-sufficient, not to where they're going to be needy over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. Like
so
if a person who can provide jobs for anybody, that's a plus. You know what I mean? To provide income for your family and things of that nature. When you get to that point, you know what I mean? You all right. You know what I mean? You just gotta, but at the same time, if you're doing that, it's still a good deed, regardless. Even if you're serving a false God, nigga, you still getting somebody off the streets. You know what I mean? Good deeds are good deeds, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good deeds don't worry about your belief.
Exactly. Bazell, what's good, family? Where's the big man?
Yo, peace to the God, Selah, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, been there cool and just decided to get
what's
on
good,
it.
Lucci?
What's good with you, bro?
What's on your mind, King?
Man, yeah, I just came up. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, you have already won that debate with Captain, man. You already won, champ. I just seen that video. Yeah, I just seen the video he had posted, bro. He said he don't want to debate you, bro. He's like, really, scared of you. And then he made the lamest excuse ever. He said, nobody knows the Awaspy and nobody cares about it, so it's no reason to debate it. What does that have to do with the information?
Well, that's what he said on his Call Chronicles.
Yeah, just now, bro. He said he don't want to debate you. That's why. It's not because he's busy. He's scared.
Hey, man, it's crazy.
So
yo.
that's a forfeit.
You know, we don't run over here, man. I ain't never. Let me tell you something. You know what I mean?
That ass got burnt. That's why he's saying that when he had that dialogue with him, his ass got burnt, and he still feels that burn.
And I had time prepared now, so it was like, nigga, the roasting was gonna be much worse than what if niggas thought that was fire. And then, you know, it's not even me turning up. I'm just talking about the way the information is gonna be laid out and presented. He was gonna be exposed for what he was claiming. He claimed that God in the beginning didn't create the heavens and the earth, and he said Jesus Christ and the angels created the heavens and earth. I had a rebuttal.
You know where you got him, Selah, bro? You know where you got him? And he laughed when you did this. I don't know if he laughed because you got him. It's probably because you said the word nigga too, because the way you said it was funny. But he was like, you trying to tell me, it was the part where you were like, you trying to tell me there ain't nobody besides the Most High, but then you show me verses where there's entities standing next to the nigga. And when you said that, he started laughing because one, it was funny, but two, you cut him. You know what I mean? Because it was like, and see, that's what Zion Lexx is too, because the last time Zion Lexx debated Divine Prospect, it was about, are the ancient Israelites henotheistic or monotheistic? Monotheistic means they believe in one God. Henotheistic is that they believe in the existence of different deities, but they only venerate one, which is the Most High. And Zion was, at the time, before he came up with the whole messianic, talk, he believed he was straight monotheistic, that no one stood beside the Most High. He wasn't in a council or what have you. And Zion was bringing those verses. Divine Prospect was bringing those verses showing different entities, like Elohim, plural. And Zion's running to Isaiah showing that, oh, no, God, the Persian propaganda where now you have monotheism. But see, Zion's not privy to the source criticism. You know what I mean? So if you do talk about God, he might still be on his monotheistic tip. I don't know now that he accepts Jesus. I don't know how he looks at Jesus.
Even in their own Bible, they said they was worshiping different gods. They was worshiping Moloch for 40 years in the wilderness. And Jeremiah said, I ain't approve that. So that's one. They was offering up their children of the goddamn Canaanites. That's another one.
You know what it is? He doesn't believe they're ontological beings. He believes they're just idols. That's what he believes. Like, well, that's what he believed, at least, that they're not like, they're just idols. They don't have like a divine ontological mind behind them.
Even if that's the case, the people still believed in it.
Yeah.
So the people made it real. So they still convinced. And that's ignorant as hell to look at an idol and believe that that's the Most High. But at one point, our people was dumbed down where they needed that understanding to look upon an idol to get an idea of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But shit, today, nigga, we ain't doing no idol worship. Man. Peace to Malachi Maccabee. What's good, fam?
Man, hey, I told you we had a bird trap for that big nigga, boy. I told you. Hey, we had an old school bird trap for Tazaryach big ass boy. Hey, he did right though. He better have stood down. He know what's up, man. You know what I mean?
General told him to stood down. General Yohana told that nigga to stand down. Like, nigga, don't be going against Selah Shalom. You done lost your mind, boy. He gonna make the school look bad.
Hey, but look, the crazy part is he did right because the Bible tells you not to rebuke or do anything against anything until you examine the whole matter. You dig? So every Israelite trying to debate Awaspy and has not read it is in violation to their own text. Huh? You're in violation to your own text. It tells you right in the book of Proverbs. Don't rebuke until you fully examine the matter. None of these men have read Awaspy. Yeah. None of them.
And not only that, even if they read Awaspy, they still got to stand on Bible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And see, the thing is, what makes Awaspy so crushing and damaging is that the overall picture, it's exposing gods. It don't get no higher than that according to a biblical person. So you want to talk about the tribe, the white and yellow, the Esau, the Edomites, but when we address God, that supersedes all that shit.
Everything, bro.
So if you want to talk about John New, bro, nigga, you can have that, but your God is false. How do you feel about that now?
Woo.
When we expose that?
Hey, boy. Hey. Always draws out, boy, like, damn. What the fuck did I eat? I'm telling you, bro. Look, listen to me. I already knew that boy was going to. Remember I told you. I say, look, they going to be in Scotland this week. They going to be in Scotland this weekend. Remember I told you that?
You did say
bro,
that.
How is he gonna debate you in Scotland? How is that gonna work? You know what I mean? So, bro, hey, I salute you. I heard Zion Lexx stuck his head out, but I'm gonna say this. Bro. That's a better debate, and it's easier. It's easier. Actually, that shit easier. You know what I mean? So, only thing Zion gonna do when you go to the beginning, Bara, Bereshit, Elohim, Et HaShemayim, Wa'et Ha'aret, right there, when you see Elohim, he's going to acknowledge his plural, but the verb bara, Bereshit bara, he's going to try to say that's singular. So even though it's plural, even though Elohim is plural, the verb function is singular. So Elohim must be a singular for God. But bro,
I remember
crush him
when I
with
studied
verse.
Hebrew, that shit.
Yeah, but you crush him with verse 26.
I remember that shit. Right.
Yeah,
but see, if that's the case. Now go ahead, Ken. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
Melly.
I was saying the verse 26 and the verse 27 of Genesis 1. Let us, that crushes all of it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Exactly. Yeah. So even if you try to use that's singular, we got about let us make man. Man has become like one of us. It's like you can't play that. And then you got one saying God and then one saying Lord. So if you try to use each one, we still got you both ways.
What Cal talking about?
What up, Cal P? What's good, fam? Cal P, what's good, family?
Man, peace to the righteous gods. What's the word?
Speak to the people. What's good?
Yeah,
it broke up a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah, peace, Cal.
Let me get a drink real quick. Go ahead, talk, Ken.
Yeah, peace, bro, peace.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. It's a little bit of a lag, but you go ahead, speak. See what's up.
I just happened to just hop on and see the brother was live, man. I didn't even know he was live.
And you know Tazaryach backed out, yo.
Yeah, Tazaryach dropped off the stage.
Yeah, nigga backed out. Said he had something else, so he was too busy or whatever. Some shit, hold on, matter of fact, Bazell said, hold up, Bazell said, what'd you say, Bazell?
He was not busy. He said he don't want to debate you, man. He don't want to debate you, so that's why. He's scared. What Bishop saying, Juice? This nigga's scared, man.
You know what it is, Taylor?
That clip, nigga, shit.
You know what it is though, for real. This is the excuse he uses. We'll always use this. You're the underground rapper, right? That don't got a deal. He's the rapper that got the deal, and you're hot and you're coming up. If he goes back and forth in a rap battle with you or some shit like that, that's gonna give you exposure, even though you already got exposure. He just don't want you getting exposure. That's why he made up that stupid ass excuse talking about nobody knows about the Awaspy. There's no reason, but you're dealing with the information. He just doesn't want to give you exposure.
That's so stupid.
That nigga's hey, that boy got cold feet. I don't care what nobody say, bro. When you live this and you do this, it don't matter, nigga. We could have got it on in a phone booth, nigga. Fuck you, mean? Ain't no excuse, nigga. We already set the date. We done set the topic. We'd already shot the fade, nigga. Fuck you mean you ain't showing up?
Fact,
no, the only reason you ain't showing up because you a coward, nigga. We already know you ain't no street dude. We see right through that bullshit. Nigga, I told you that nigga's gonna be in Scotland. Told you.
You did say that, Melly.
And
he took the fade.
You gotta remember though, really what he really afraid of is his water getting cut off. Remember, he eats off the Bible. If we go against us, he just seen what happened with Judah Nazareth going up against Awaspy.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
You can't even cheat us and beat us. You can't even cheat and win. So if he goes up against Awaspy, he can get his water shut off. Remember, he lives from this. You dig what I'm talking about? So he going up against Selah Shalom, man. That could be the end of his career, and it's not worth it. I thought it was strange that he came out in the first place because General Yohana is his daddy. His daddy telling him what to do. You dig what I'm talking about? And if we strike, see, you gotta think about it. We exposing his God. We not debating any topic with his God, about his God. We not giving him no credit, no leverage. So in the end of the day, you're going to see very clearly that what he serves is a false deity, right? That can be a chop to the head of ISUPK. Because if you get the face out the way, you knock the head off his shoulders, you ain't got to worry about the body of the snake. You chop the head off. You dig what I'm talking about? And right. I had a feeling, because I thought it was odd that he took the debate. He's been ducking this long, running for over a year, that he would come out now. But see, he had to save face because he got beat up live on Sarnetta. Everybody seen that. You know what I mean? So he had to kind of save face. So now he's tucking his tail and he's ducking and running because head shot off around here dealing with Awaspy. You dig what I'm talking about? This white boy JBN gunning at your God. You dig what I'm saying? And to get that, and and to get your God hit long range from a white boy while you still in Scotland, nigga. While you wearing that little kilt, blowing on some bagpipes and shit, nigga. We sniping your God from the roof. Hey, you dig what I'm saying?
From the rooftop.
Yeah, we got niggas on the grassy knoll waiting for you. You dig what I'm talking about? So it don't shock me that he canceled the debate. It shocked me that he even accepted it. So
it's because people.
No, that's twice now. That's twice. He did that.
Yeah, because people won't let him debate. They probably, like I said, they probably didn't take their Awaspy seriously at first. So they were like, yeah, go debate him. He's easy work. And then when he took the fade with Selah, and then when Tazaryach went back to his people, his little masters and shit, they were like, yo, he pushed your hairline back too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not want to get back to him.
Yo, look, they've been watching. Look, I'm from that side of the track, y'all. All them niggas know me. Every last one of them, bro. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is they know deep down that they don't have nothing to rebut that. What Cal just did openly against Judah Nazareth, I mean, it was clear what happened and where the higher light is at. It was beyond clear, especially when we went back and slowed it down. And we was going to do the same thing with Selah debate, same thing with Durrell debate. And even if you go back and look at the ones I had over on the source, bruh, look, listen to me. Them brothers know they ain't got nothing for this. So they just running out there because they're God. Their false God is telling them, get your ass out there and represent. They getting kicked up their ass, swift kick to the hindquarters, get your ass out there. And, you see what I'm saying? That's what's happening, y'all. So yeah, I'm with Cal. I ain't surprised. I knew it. It. It's just like this though. I kind of was hoping he come on out and get in that bear trap. Cause I built a bear trap for that nigga 10 years ago. I was hoping.
Me too.
Hey yo, Mally. What I had planned for the debate, I was gonna send you the fucking alley hoop because I'm exposing Paul to a degree.
Yeah.
So I was gonna send you the alley hoop the way I was going in on Paul and shit.
Yeah. Man, they don't want to deal with Paul, man. Listen, they definitely. First of all, they don't want to deal with the gang, and then they don't want to deal with Mally with Paul.
Fuck no.
They don't want to do that.
Nobody want to see Mally with Paul.
4 years now they've been ducking. They don't want that smoke with Paul.
That doesn't. It's not even all that. It's when Cosmo and Cal, Malachi Mackie brought up Gobekli Tepe. That fucks up their whole history. So they don't even want to. That's really what hurt them. Gobekli Tepe, and then when Cosmo brought up the John that's older, 500 years older, their Bible can barely go back 5,000 years. So it's like they're not really. So since they can't really deal with that, they already know. Like, all right, this is way beyond our level.
Yeah, they shit started at 3761 BC, nigga. We talking goddamn 10,000 years ago and more, nigga. Like these niggas can't even fathom that shit. They God was even in existence at that time and shit.
Hey, Selah, so your boy Zion Lexx debating. He want to debate you the same date this weekend, or what's going on?
Sarnetta, we had. If you probably wasn't on earlier. I called Sarnetta, had him on the phone live, and then he was telling me that he was trying to get me to let me know that Tazaryach canceled, but Zion Lexx is going to come in his place. So it's still on for Saturday.
Okay.
So the only thing I'm gonna have to check because I asked him, do he believe that do he believe that Jesus Christ and the angels made the heavens and the earth? Because if he do believe that, then I could keep what I had in there. But if he don't, I'll just probably scrap that.
Say?
Huh?
What did he say?
No, I asked Sinetta that. He said he don't know. He said when I get off, just, you know what I mean, holler at him. I guess he's going to try to get us on, you know what I mean, on the phone together or whatever.
Yeah, because Zion Lexx is messianic now.
Hey,
But when it comes,
I hope you don't believe that shit, though, bro. I hope he don't. I know he's smarter than that.
Hey, so you saying Sinetta came on It's the Vibes earlier?
Yeah, before you got on. So like when you go back and watch the rewind of this, I called him up. I called him up because he had hit me yesterday and the day before, but I've been busy, so I didn't get a chance to hit him. But so I said, well, I'm live. Let me call him up. So I said, yo, I'm live. You know me? What you got to tell me? Because somebody in the chat told me the nigga backed out. Tazaryach backed out. Somebody in the chat, and I was like, damn, okay. So I put on the thing. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Son said he backed out or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? Let me call Sai just to verify. And then even Bazell said, yeah, the nigga, tapped out. Then when I called Sinetta, he verified and then said, what about Zion Lexx? Zion Lexx, he said he don't mind getting in the ring. He said it's gonna be the same thing, and just, we just put Zion Lexx on the fly instead. So I said, nigga, run it, shit. I can still run my presentation. The only thing I'm gonna have to change if the nigga, if he believes Jesus Christ made the angels, I'll keep that in there. But if you don't, then I'll just X that out.
look, I believe Bazell over Sinetta, though. What Bazell said, whatever Tazaryach said on his stream or whatever, that's the reason. Whatever Sinetta told you, that's bullshit.
No, Sinetta ain't saying that. He just said that he backed out. That's what he said.
No, but he did say he had something going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said that.
He's not busy, man. He's not busy.
He's not busy. There's nothing to do with being busy. You could always make time. You could change the date. He's not even changing the date.
Come on, man. Be real.
Hey, I'm in the middle of filming 2.1 Atlanta's Ugly, a whole fucking season, nigga. Ain't no excuses.
Hey, no, he busy. he busy being worried. Hey, that boy terrified, man. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. I know what I know, and I know a purr-ass dog when I see one. Don't matter if he big. It don't matter if he big. We done whooped a bunch of big dogs before. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Them be the ones that do the most barking, do the less biting.
Hey, we got to give props to goddamn who that Jeremiah and goddamn Caleb, I guess, because them niggas at least they got them came through and shit, got their ass whooped, but at least they came through for the debate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I would at least say I give the credit to Caleb. He actually came in kind of prepared. David, Jeremiah, I think he was just too stupid to see the punch.
And he's supposed to have been one of Zion Lexx, like he was, like under Zion Lexx.
Yeah, he said that in the debate that he was learning.
I don't think he's under him I think he studied. Like he said, I think he takes one of his courses. I don't want to say he up under him. I don't want to put that out there like that's one of his students, but that is one of his students because he did say that he was taking a paid course from Zion Lexx. And I'm like, nigga, that's what's up.
Yeah. That ain't gonna save you. That shit ain't save you none. You dig what I'm talking about? As a matter of fact, crazy part is that debate and the one I did with just what
Platform
the Nazareth. We was up there both. We was both teaching the so-called Hebrews Hebrew. We was teaching them. That nigga said that the word ish wasn't in that thing. I told him, nigga, say the word ish right there. Say your God is a man. I asked him, did he man worship? He said no. I said, well, how not? When your Lord say he is a man of war. He's like, that doesn't mean a man. I said, nigga, say ish right there. How it don't say man. You dig what I'm talking about? So we've been teaching Hebrew for a long time.
And Zion Lexx, that's like he's almost like cream of the crop, you know what I'm saying? Because I think he comes from like that first Black Hebrew Israelite community. I think he's one of the first ones or whatever. He grew up in those teachings or what have you. So you're dealing with a progenitor, you know what I'm saying?
It's the head, man. It's the head. You dig what I'm saying? Like, if he willing to take that debate, if he believes Jesus is they're talking about Jesus in the beginning is the word and all that. If he take that same debate, it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, that's why I got to get clarity to see if he believes that Jesus created the heavens and the earth. These niggas better stay away from that bullshit. I'm telling you, what I got for that, boy, y'all niggas better stay away from Paul. I'm setting up the alley-hoop for Mally on this one with that Paul shit.
Yeah, Zion don't deal with Paul.
I ain't even getting deep. It's the way I put it together. The way I strategize and the way I brought it, niggas gonna be like, oh man, niggas gonna be running from Paul by the time I finish with that nigga.
Yeah, but Tazaryach, if you look at Tazaryach, he don't really follow Paul like that because what was I think it was Paul that says to always be ready to have an answer season out of season, to be ready season out of season,
right,
and to always have an answer for those that question you, to give them a reason for the faith that's in you.
Right.
You're supposed to stick up for Torah. You know what I'm saying? Like not run. You're supposed to stand up season or out of season when someone's questioning your faith. You're supposed to give them a reason why you believe the things that you do. So Tazaryach.
Go ahead, King.
No, I was just saying Tazaryach's not following that. Zion, on the other hand, he's messianic. I don't know how deep he is with the messianic. He deals, like I said, he's into rabbinic Judaism. He'll go into the oral law, like the oral text, the Gemara and stuff like that, and prove about the Messiah. I don't know about the pre-existence, but he might, because he believes the Messiah comes at different points in history. So he might, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it'd be good to ask him.
Cyrus was a Messiah. It says it, the anointed.
Yeah, we know that.
Cyrus.
We know that. I don't know how he feels about that. You could always bring that up to him. But yeah, you ask him if he believes in the pre-existence of Christ. And if he does, then there you go. You already know. But if he believes in the pre-existence of Christ, he has to believe in Elohim.
I need to know, because you can believe in the pre-existence of Christ and not believe that he created the heavens and earth. I want to know if he believed that the nigga created the heavens and earth. That's all I need to know. That's it. If Christ pre-existed and all that, I don't care about that, because my argument is going to shut all that down. It's going to shut all that down. See, I deal with the blueprint of a situation. So when I see the blueprint, the overall, what is the overall objective of the Bible? What is the purpose? What are we following this God for? What is the end result? What is the end game? See, that's what I attack at. So everything in the middle becomes irrelevant when you realize what the end game is. Like, hold on, we're doing all this for this? Let me recant this. Let me recant to see if I really want to be in a box for eternity and strangers around outside this motherfucker. That's end game for Bible. End game for Awaspy is ascension, moving forward to the different Ethereum planes, just like going to college and you just going to different colleges and getting an education and you get your own business. We continue expanding, but the Bible doesn't have a continual expand. It has a boundary.
Hey, Selah.
What up, King?
Don't forget about the dogs and the whoremongers outside.
You got all your bro, trust you already. You know how we give it up, King? You know we play dirty. You know we play dirty.
Hey man, God, hey, listen, man, was God tricking? Why you got whores outside, man? You did what I'm talking about.
And keep this in mind, King. Keep this in mind. The chapter starts off, the first heaven and the first earth passed away. So we dealing after we dealing with after the second coming of Mashiach. We dealing with after the 1,000-year reign. We dealing with after the lake of fire. We dealing with after Lucifer is released and sealed again and released and destroyed in the lake of fire. We dealing with after the new heaven and the new earth. We find whoremongers and murderers outside the kingdom. In the new heaven and earth.
Wait a minute. This after the nigga come on the horse.
Let me pull it. Hey, I'm about to pull it up. Just watch. Watch this. Your boy ain't playing no games with these niggas, man. What Mally say, motherfucking Raphael, my nigga? Stop playing. Nigga, your boy ain't lying. That nigga is not lying when he said that. Hold up. Let me goddamn pull this up real quick.
I know Zion does believe Jesus is coming back.
Even so, the end game, you know what I mean? It ends.
Nah, I'm just putting you on game, bro. I'm just putting you on game where he's at, because I don't know if you watch his videos, but
I'm with you. You know, we got them turn up and shit. But yeah, you're right though. You know, we Israelites, we believe that shit at one time. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you know, like Mally said, when the higher light comes, my nigga, you gotta acknowledge that shit. Like, all right, nigga, this shit bringing the truth that. All right, right here. Hold on, let me share my screen. Now watch this.
They want to block.
All right, here we go. All right, now look. Cosmo, you there?
Yeah.
All right, so look, Revelation 21:1 states what? I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth was passed away, and there was no more sea. All right. Now that's letting you know the new heaven and the new earth is here. John saw what? New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven. In the next verse, John saw the new city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven. All right. So this is after the fact. This is the new heaven and earth. Now, when we go to the next verse, let me see. This is Revelation 22, right? Where that? Right here. Right here. Blessed are they that do his commandment, that they may have right to the tree of life. And what? May what? Enter through the gates into the holy city, to the city. What gates? The kingdom that came down from God. But then what it say? For without are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, murderers, adulterers, whosoever loves to make a lie. This is in the new heaven and the new kingdom, the new earth.
Wow.
You got sorcerers, whoremongers, and murderers outside the kingdom. And this is the end game for Israel. That you're going to be in a box surrounded by goddamn criminals. And if you fuck around and be disobedient to God, he's going to kick your ass out there among the sorcerers, whoremongers, and murderers. But in the Awaspy, for us, let me give it that real quick fast rebuttal. But for us in the Awaspy, this is our outlook. This is what we preparing for. Let me get it. This is what we preparing for right here. I just read the description of the end game for Bible. Now we're gonna read the description of the end game for Awaspy. And I found them verses too, Louis, with the other verse talking about the Israelites and the two laws. I'll read that after this. Book of Jehovah 2:2, right? What Book of Jehovah 2:2 say? Huh? What it say? What judge I say? Jehovah, the ever-present, said, I created the earth and fashioned it and placed it in the firmament. And by my presence brought man forth a living being. I gave him a corporeal body so that he may learn corporeal things. And I made death so that he could what? Rise in the firmament and inherit my Etherian worlds. See, we're rising into the firmament to inherit the Etherian worlds. We're not coming backwards. We're moving up. When you go to school, if you go backwards, you be considered what? Left behind. Nigga, ha, ha, ha. This nigga got left behind. It's all about ascension. When you go to school, you're moving up in grades. You're not going backwards. Who go backwards and think that is ascending? You can't ascend and be going backwards. So God bringing down the kingdom out of heaven to earth and leaving you locked in on the earth plane is not ascension. We're dealing with ascension. Rise in the firmament and inherit my Etherian worlds. What are the Etherian worlds? Verse 6. Verse 6 gives you a description. In the all highest places, I created the Etherian worlds, and I made them of all shapes and sizes, similar to my corporeal worlds. But I made the Etherian worlds inhabited both within and without, with entrance and exit and arches and curves thousands of miles high and wide, and in colors and movable chisels and mountains of endless change and brilliance, and over them I ruled with all perfection, mechanism. To them I gave motion, orbits, and courses of their own, and I made them independent and above all other worlds in potency and majesty. These niggas need to go sit their ass down somewhere talking about the New Jerusalem and having whoremongers around them when we're talking about going to worlds that's above all other worlds in potency and majesty. And what does it say? The all highest places. They always talk about the most high, the most high. Nigga, we going to the all highest places, which are the Etherian worlds. Nigga, that's where we headed. But you niggas want to be locked in a box in Jerusalem on earth with some whoremongers around. Nigga, that's game, nigga.
Man. Dang. I don't see how you come out and even debate this. You dig what I'm talking about? But I get it. You know, they had their chest puffed out for over 2,000 years, couldn't nothing handle the Bible.
Fact. When you in the dojo and you come in the dojo and you a nigga off the street and step on the mat and say, nigga, I beat up whoever, somebody gonna have to step up, because if you don't, I'm gonna walk out that dojo and say, yo, that dojo, them niggas is suckers. I went in there for a fight and none of them stood up. And that's gonna be the word on the street. So nobody gonna get they ain't gonna get no business for that dojo because they known for being cowards.
Man. Well,
Maccabee.
I know if you mess around, come over here.
With the word, brother, with the word.
Hey man, you know we over here taking heads without having to take heads, man. Let's say this. These last wins have been the easiest wins. So who look, the ducking squad. It's ducking season, nigga. We've been said that it's ducking season.
Yeah.
Who's first nigga to duck? Who ducked first? I forget.
Shit, Dawood duck. Remember?
Cap, right?
He
Dawood
canceled,
ducked
right?
at first, then
And
he
he
came back.
canceled at the last minute, talking about he had car problems.
Yeah, he
And
had
then
called
finally
mom.
came
He
back
ducked.
a week later.
Yeah.
Came back a week
That
later,
was
got
a
his shit
minute ago.
crushed. Then goddamn
Remember Angel Pardo? He ran ducking season for Angel Pardo.
yeah, he
was
ran.
supposed
He's
to
still
debate me. JJ ran.
that first time he did, yes.
Yep, JJ ran. Yeah, I put that on my mama.
Cap
See
called
what
me
I'm
with
talking
Pastor. Cap called me with. I mean not Cap. Sonetta called me with Pastor Bennett on the phone to try to get him to debate. He said he gonna investigate the Awaspy. I'll look into it. Never heard back from him. Then he called
Don't
me
forget
with,
about G-Con. Don't forget about G-Con.
G-Con was on the phone. I mean, he set up the debate. He called back, said he ain't never rescheduled. So you know what I mean.
It's another cat that ducked too, but yeah, it was Nose Angel, JJ.
Hey, y'all remember Avery ducked me? That nigga canceled the whole debate.
Avery
the Hebrew.
Avery ducked. You dig what I'm talking about? Yep, he sure did.
Neftali and them duck, because you remember they called, so they called back. They went
Yeah,
judges. They
that's right. That's the same time with
Yeah.
JJ 7000.
Hey, what about
We
Nepal?
was supposed to go the same night.
What'd you say,
What
Bazelle?
about Nepal?
Nah, she I think he was trying, but she ended up doing Christina Nick. She ended up doing Christina Nick.
Saw he be trying to save her, huh?
Yeah, she don't want
Well, you know,
none
like
either.
I've been doing this shit for a minute. So when you weigh the options, it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's like she's doing the smart thing by kind of like tipping away from the Bible, because you know we holding you accountable. This is a battle of the holy books. So we holding whoever comes with a belief system, we holding you accountable to your book. We don't care about what you personally think. I don't care about, you know, like the esoteric or how people. I'm going by what the books say. This is a battle of the books, because the book's been here longer than us. So we gotta dive into the book to see which book is either is the biblical God, is he really the Most High? Is he an angel of the Most High? Is he really trying to deceive us? What's really going on? But we don't know that if we don't have nothing to cross compare it. The only reason we believed in the Bible because we have no other book to challenge it. You know what I mean? You got the Quran. You know, you got a lot of people that's Muslims. I know a lot of Muslims that don't deal with the Bible at all. They don't know nothing about the Bible. They don't
But it's just as fantastical. You dig what I'm talking about? It's just as crazy.
Niggas
Remember, they got Pegasus in the book, and they split the moon in half.
Niggas will debate the Quran, you know, before they'll debate the Awaspy. Even if you know the Awaspy.
Hey,
that's a smart move from Sonetta.
Hey, Bezel, do you have the timestamp of the Tazaryach saying he ain't trying to deal with the Awaspy? If you do, hey, Selah, you should share that video so we all can see it.
I know Brown's got it. Brown's Yogi got it.
Where it's at on the Crawl Chronicles? It's on his page.
Yeah, Brown's got posted it in the chat.
You said who posted in the chat?
Brown's Yogi.
Oh, Brown's did. Okay, yeah, click on. Hey, yeah, let's see if we can pull that up and watch him. Tell that boy have some more wine with his cheese. That damn wine.
I don't see the link, man. Where did Brown's posted? He posted in the back chat.
No, it was a while ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, but Bezel, just do this. Go to Captain Tazaryach. I would do it. I'm driving. Go to Captain Tazaryach Card Chronicles, the last one, and then send it to Selah. And then see if Selah can pull that deal on up.
Okay.
Let's witness this clown whine. Have some more cheese with your wine.
Man, you gotta keep
pulling it up now and shit.
It's sad, man.
Hold up, that nigga may have took that shit down, yo.
Did he put it up on Facebook or did he put it up in the chat?
Hey, Selah, you better make that boy look like a short bus rider. Just to make that boy look retarded, man.
Hey, he just did it 2 hours ago. Is it that one?
Gotta
Matter
be.
of fact, you know what?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
I don't want to play the whole shit. If you can pinpoint where he's talking, and then I'll play for that point.
Yeah.
Hey, is Brian
That
still
would
in the
be
chat?
I don't want to waste time looking for the nigga to say that shit. That's a waste of energy with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just get to the point here what we need to hear and clown this nigga.
Nah,
See if
yeah,
Brian's
I'm
in the
looking
chat.
Yeah, Braun said what? I can repost.
Hey,
No, I got
Brian,
the
just put
clip.
the clip
I got
up.
the clip. I just need to know exactly where he said it at because I want to be sitting here listening to it before I pull it up. Wow, you know what I mean? I just want to go straight to it. But I see it say 2 hours ago. What did it say?
Yeah, I know it's like towards the middle though. It's not in the beginning.
Hey,
I know
and
it's towards the middle.
Hey, the reason I'm saying Zion is gonna be easier for you than Tazaryach is because even though Zion claims the messianic belief, he don't believe Jesus was the one that created the heavens and the earth.
Oh, so you
know what I
clarifying
mean?
that. So he don't believe that. Okay.
He don't believe that. You know what I mean?
I'm
He
glad.
don't believe that. So
He got more sense.
that means he got to deal with the plurality of his God in the beginning. Genesis 1,
that.
Genesis 3, Genesis 11. You know what I mean? He in the book of Acts now, so hold him to Acts for Stephen. Stephen, like, nigga, that was an angel. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? And then let him go into the Hebrew and try to explain himself about it in trick thing. You're not gonna be able to do.
Basically, what I'm gonna just have to do is in my first round, just have to change up the last part because the last part was designed. Because in the first part, I'm breaking down creator and creation. So I'm showing them that creator is ever present, and how something that is ever present, how it creates. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna show the system in order through creation. Then I'm gonna expose to show, like, look, nigga, you following a 7-day creation story. How can a 7-day creation story compare to what I just laid out?
Exactly.
And then that's where, like Nali's saying, I could go into, because now I'm gonna have a little bit more time probably, because I'm gonna have to switch up a little bit of that end part and just show the plurality of God.
Hey, see, like, cause you ain't got to play the videos of the Tazaryach or the UPK general.
Yo, that's all the window, man.
You ain't got to worry
I already
about
had that shit set up to play too. I had all that nigga counter set up where I was gonna have this nigga look. He was gonna look bad in front of his school because you saying things you're not even sure about.
Yeah.
You haven't done the history of Paul like that. How are you gonna listen to a nigga who never met the Messiah and say that he created the heavens? Paul out his mouth said that shit. He never goddamn said that shit. Because if Paul wouldn't, because if Jesus said it, he would have quoted Jesus instead of Paul. Nigga, cut. I had that in there.
Yeah. So
why would you cut? Why would you quote from the help when you could quote from the boss himself?
Bro, it's gonna be easier. And again, why I'm saying it's gonna be easier is because Zion is gonna have to dive into Hebrew and try to explain his way about it. You know what I mean? And the longer he's doing that, the longer he's not showing how Bible is more beneficial.
Right.
The longer he rebuts you, the longer he ain't even proving no benefit.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Tazaryach would have probably spent half all his rounds trying to rebut what I had to say when I would have brought the ruckus.
Yeah.
You done gave me over close to a month to prepare. I left no wiggle room for that nigga to rebuttal. It would have been homonyms and jokes and ha ha he he's smoking the blunt. That's what it would have been.
Yeah, that's all he do. Like, come on, man. Like, it'd be so corny, man. Cornball.
I got the link, Bronze. I got the link. I just want to know exactly where he's saying it because I don't want to sit there and play the whole thing. Go ahead, Melly.
Yeah, them cats so goofy, man. Hey, look, I heard them say one time, if you smoke weed, you the same as a damn pedo, a pedo. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't know what's wrong with these dudes, man. I don't know what is wrong with these clowns, bro. They making this shit up as they go.
Yeah, they make like yeah, exactly. They just on some. Yeah, he would have looked at bad though. He would have looked at bad. The whole house of Israel would have got a wake up call because the whole house of Israel is worshiping a false god named Jehovah in the image of a man sitting on the throne. Look at the Jehovah we serve ain't no nigga sitting on no throne.
Yeah, this is gonna be way easier because now you can box Zion in. Zion don't believe that Jesus is at the right hand of God. He don't believe that. You know what I mean? Even though Psalms 110 says, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. You know what I mean? So he don't believe, he never believed that Jesus was at the right hand or standing at the right hand or sitting at the right hand of who they call Elohim or God.
But if he accepts the New Testament, he don't have to deal with that Acts 7:53.
Yeah, exactly. So he accepted the New Testament, but he's not a radical New Testament brew. So some of them niggas tell you it's Jesus everywhere. Nigga, Jehovah's Jesus. You dig?
We're gonna cancel that. We're gonna cancel that. Anybody who talking about Jehovah is Jesus, the way I was gonna do Tazaryach, that belief system would have came to an end that night.
Yeah, Israel doctrine teach that.
And then keep in mind, these is Paul. Paul running around got niggas believing this shit.
Yeah, Saul of Tarsus, the Edomite.
Or they'll go to John and say, well, look, John 1:1 said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. It said it right there, God, nigga. God is goddamn Jehovah.
That's one of their favorite ones right there.
Yeah, God. When you look up God, if you want to do the etymology check right then and there, it's gonna bring you back to Jehovah. When you click to the root word 410, which is El, that's the primary root word damn near for El, for God. It's gonna say the true God, one Jehovah. They can't wiggle their way. And then I got other verses where the Lord said, I am God. So it's like, nigga, you can't work your way around that. Ain't nowhere. When you look at the etymology of the word El, Elohim, there is no reference to Christ or Jesus nowhere. If you had a reference, if I would have said Christ there, I would have been like, oh, they got something. I'm that honest to give you that. Or it's just there. It ain't even to be honest. It's like, nigga, there you go. They ain't even being honest. Nigga, we can't find Christ, Yahshua, nowhere in the etymology of God in the whole Genesis creation story. So how you gonna tell me about a nigga creating the heavens and the earth when you look up the etymology, a reference of him is not there?
We talking about Tazaryach or Zion?
We talking about any nigga who believed that Jesus created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, well, I know like what Malachi said, he don't believe that about Jesus. But like I said, he's already had this debate about monotheism and henotheism, about multiple gods with Divine Prospect. And one of the last verses he brought up to counter Divine Prospect, because Divine Prospect was actually doing good. Because he knows better. He knows that they were henotheistic. But the last thing I remember Zion pulling up was, I forget the chapter and verse, but when, the Most High said that there no one is beside me, he used that. So with that being said, you're going to have to use a little bit of source criticism for him. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he believes that the Bible is like a whole unit. If you chop it up with the source criticism, you're really going to have nowhere to run.
Yeah, but again, if he's saying either he's holding to Hero Israel, the Shabbat, you know what I mean? He's holding to the Shabbat, the Lord our God is one, or you got to explain the plurality in Genesis 1:26, Genesis 3:22, and Genesis 11:5-7. You know what I mean? You got to explain the plurality in that if you're holding on to there is no one beside him. Then you got to break down Daniel. Daniel says one like the Son of Man was brought before the Ancient of Days. And they brought the angels of heaven, brought him near before him. So if there's nobody beside him, why you got David in Psalms 110 saying the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand? Why do you got Daniel saying in the night vision, one like the Son of Man was brought before the Ancient of Days, and he was placed near right before the Ancient of Days? You know what I mean? So in the Old Testament text, without even going into the New Testament, you have a problem. Is the God plural or singular? Is he sitting by himself, or does he have a whole host around? You see what I'm saying?
And to add on to that, when you look at Hebrews chapter 10, verse 12, it says, but this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sit down on the right hand of God.
Right.
That's in the New Testament. That's Hebrews 10:12. And then coming back to what you were saying with the plurality in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he's going to find ways to spin that. Excuse me, I'm over here talking my mouth full, but I feel like he's just going to spin it. So, because he's already had this debate with Divine Prospect. I'm pretty sure Divine, I don't remember the whole debate. If I can find it, I'll link it in the group chat.
And then it says in Psalms 82, God standeth in the midst of the congregation and judge among the gods.
Yeah, he's just going to spin it. He's probably going to say, look, he believes in angels. He believes in angelic hosts. What he don't believe is there's ontological false gods. He don't believe that there's other deities that are conspiring against the creator. He believes, I think it's in Isaiah where it says, I create good and evil, or light and darkness. He believes that Most High has control of all this shit. So he doesn't really, back then, I don't know about now, back then he didn't entertain the notion of ontological false gods, like false gods that can think for themselves, they can lead armies, they can, charm people and shit like that. He didn't believe that. He just believed that they were limited to idols, and that the people gave them these qualities or whatever. And the Awaspy, that's different. We understand these false gods existed. They got a mind, they can speak, they have influence, they used to live at one point in time. He doesn't really, at the time, didn't agree with that. You know what I mean? So I'm just telling you from what I understand with him. So with that being said, all he's really going to do is spin those verses to being angels and or other divine beings that are under the authority of the creator. He's not going to entertain the whole notion of the false God. So with that being said, that's where the source criticism comes up. Because if he brings up Isaiah where it says that there is no other God besides me, then you have to bring up how that's a Persian influence. Because the Persians were monotheistic. Now that's where the source criticism comes in, and he ain't going to be able to run. But it's going to require somebody to be well versed in source criticism, the documentary hypothesis, the Yahwehs.
Oh, look who we got in the building. Look who we got in the building. The legendary himself. Where's that big man? Zion Lexx himself is in the building. Peace to the
Looks like Zion Lexx shows his face.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, big man.
Wagwan. Good, man. Everything
Zion
good.
Lexx in the building. What it do, King? Talk to
hey,
you know, I was going to tell you, he was probably watching too.
Hey man, shout out to you, good brother. Let me turn down my mic. My mic is a little high. Shout out to you, good brother Sar. It's been a while since we interacted, man. I believe we used to be social media friends a while back, years ago.
Yeah. Like on Facebook, you know what I mean? When you were like back in the day when you was, you know what I mean, handling shock and all that. You know what I mean? You've been around the scene for a minute, so yeah, I've been following you. Man.
Yeah. I remember you, man. I definitely remember you. Much respect to you. Much respect to your growth. I've been following much of this conversation, and you know, obviously for me, it's a dope conversation to put myself in because, you know, I just disagree with the core tenets of the argument, but that don't take away from the fact that you are a very knowledgeable brother and that you bring, you know, great abilities to the table. So I think that overall, the topic is going to make for a great debate. You know what I mean? Definitely, the topic for sure is going to make for a great debate. And then, you know, because me and you have a certain vibe in common, I might have to have Bounty Killer cut me a nice dub plate for you.
Yes, you're Brooklyn, you right?
Yeah, of course, man. Flatbush. Yeah.
East New York over here, Linden and them places.
So then you remember what a club name, man.
I left in the 80s though, so you talking about yeah. I was in the East. I was right across from Linden and Boulevard housing, right there in the East, yo.
Yeah, you're not too far from Uncle Murder and them Pink Houses. Linden,
I'm right up the street from Pink House. I could walk to Pink. Well, not walk. I could probably take a bike to Pink House. You take Stanley Avenue, from Pink Houses and ride it straight. You're gonna come to my side on the Boulevard housing in Linden.
We used to terrorize that whole area in the 90s, man. And speaking of Stanley Avenue, there used to be an Israelite congregation on Stanley called Quahal. That was there since the 70s, man. I was a part of them for a little bit too. Dope.
Let me ask you this. You remember that Muslim spot that used to be on Stanley? They used to have a Muslim mosque over there. The guards used to be like,
yes. But there's a couple in that general area, so I'm gonna assume yes.
Yeah. Because I remember back when I was, when we left, my mom, you coming back in the 90s when you were a teenager, your mother gonna bring you back up so see your grandmother and all that. So I remember to see the Muslims out there. I'm like, yo.
See, you probably at least got me by like 10 years. I'm born in 79. So I got
no. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got some 80s memories, but my traction is really early 90s. You know what I'm saying?
No, we the same age, bro. Don't let the grades fool you and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh no. All right. No, I thought you said I thought you was talking about the 80s. You mentioned the 80s.
Yeah, because I remember in the I said I moved New York in the 80s. We moved south.
So I'm 44, man. As of this December, I'll be 44. I came into this way of life when I was 14. Been rocking out ever since, man. And with me, I always begin making it clear it's never personal. There's one person that was personal with me, and that was polite. I had to make sure that this man is removed from the community. I made it my business to be thoroughly involved in that on multiple levels, to keep it all the way real. So
because I never met Polite before. So when you met him, did you feel something was off with the dude, like right off the bat?
Off the back, I felt that something was incredibly off with him because you definitely dealing with somebody that has a level of genius, right? The Bible speaks about people who are wise to do evil, but nonetheless, it calls them wise. So just because a person is wicked or unrighteous don't mean that they don't have wisdom. So there's definitely a level to genius or a genius level to the way that his mind operates, except that he uses it for that which is contrary to the will of the creator. And that's what makes him a wicked man, because he's worse than the person that has no knowledge because he knows better. All them arguments that Polite would pose to our community, he knew full and damn well, brother. He would laugh behind the scenes and let it be known that it was just for ratings. It was just because right now it's the Kemet hype and he's on the Kemet roll. He's even said to me several times in person on the phone that the moment that the community, and he was speaking about his community, the moment that the Kemetic community begins to rise further, then he can introduce what he knows about the Bible and really give impact. So he was actually waiting on a moment where he could share what he believes in the Bible is positive.
Facts. I remember, didn't he steal some shit from you, bro, when he went on
he went on Vlad TV and quote my whole shit, man.
Was it it was the Breakfast Club, I think.
Not only that, Polite, you know, he was connected. So I had an actual date and time with Charlemagne and DJ Envy to go on the Breakfast Club. He shot that down. He actually paid money that I would come on the show, because Charlemagne, you know, at that stage and level of the game, he's committed to promoting his brand. But as we all know, DJ Envy is a different story. So from what I heard, they both were paid. You know, from what I heard, they both were paid. He also shot down my Vlad TV interview, which I thought was corny as well. But,
and then he took your shit, because I remember at that point you was not even bringing out, you was been on it, but you was talking about the Sumerian gods and the Incan and Lil.
Right.
Nigga went on there and said the same shit. It's like, I'm gonna take Zion shit and just say it on there. You know what I'm saying?
He said openly and publicly that one of the reasons that makes me a tough debater for him is because we agree on more things than we disagree. Like Polite knows that Sumer is a civilization before Kemet. He knows that, but because he's Team Kemet, he doesn't have a vested interest in promoting that. But he knows it.
Right.
He knows it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, it should be a dope thing, man. Shout out to the brother Malachi. It's been a while.
Do you know Malachi Maccabee?
We used to beef back in the day, you know.
Malik, get on here, boy.
But I'm gonna call it internet beef, because you know, real beef is when we see each other, we got a problem. So it wasn't never nothing serious. Like that's for me, that's still gonna be my brother until shown otherwise. That's my brother, and I think brothers are allowed to have differences, right? So we used to beef online, and that was because you got to remember at that time, especially when me and him interacted, like 2015, 2016, I used to go hard against the New Testament and Messianic brothers. And look at where I am today. I embrace the New Testament. You know, in fact, one of the reasons why I decided to come on is because somebody told me that you was on and that I was kind of being discussed and brought up. So I said, all right, let me jump on. But then when I jump on, I heard Malachi continually say that Zion holds a particular position. I got to admit to you guys, he was misrepresenting where I stand. And I don't think that he meant it. I don't think he just didn't know. So I absolutely
you know what? Just to interject, I'll be honest. We was all saying a little bit about you, nothing in the negative, but we were just since I never called with the change up of the debate, you became a topic. So we was all just throwing like what he believed. And Lucy been following you for a minute. Lucy, the cat right there. So he was just throwing some ideas like, yo, he may believe this, he may not believe this. So it's good that you jumped on just to clarify some of these things. Because
me and Zion was at the inboxes back in 2016. He may not remember me, but we were talking about Jesus. You know what I mean? Before he went public, about the Messiah, showing him little things about, you know, how he kept Torah, whatever. So, but that was back in the day. So.
Yeah, shout out to you, brother, man. But I definitely wanted to come on and at least say for brother Malachi that if I'm gonna accept the New Testament, then I think it's only right that I accept the full length and breadth of what it says. Now, that doesn't mean that I have to accept how it is interpreted by the Israelite community. So I don't share the views of the greater Israelite community when it comes to how the New Testament is interpreted, right? I don't believe in the 12 tribes chart. I don't believe the white man is Esau or Edom. So I'm not going to share the exact same views as an Israelite would. However, the way I feel is if something is recorded in the text of the Gospels and the letters of the New Testament, then that's something that I must accept. I must be able to not just accept, but defend, which ultimately means I already accept this notion idea that Yeshua sits at the right hand of the Creator. In fact, before acknowledging Yeshua as the Messiah, it was already my belief that the Mashiach occupies that space. So if I now believe that Yeshua will be the Mashiach, what would be the big deal with me acknowledging that Yeshua is the person that occupies that space, right? So I want to make sure that if I'm going to be mentioned, please, because I try to quote people and say exactly what they say. Just quote me right. Even if I'm wrong, just quote me right.
Hey, that's respect, man. That's, you know what I mean? Like the brothers, the one thing everybody agreed on that they said was that this would be a better debate than Tazaryach. Every brother on here said that. So, and then even Lucy gave you some credit, like, yo, Selah, he was like, yo, you know, Zion, you know, he went with the nigga shit. And I was like, I already know how Zion give it up. I studied Zion, I watched Zion, he from Brooklyn. I know how Brooklyn niggas is, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be we got way more in common
Then we
Then we
haven't.
got-
That's a fact. That's for one
then
of
we
my
got
closest brothers.
Mhm.
He goes by the name Yehuda Avinadav. You might know him. He's an Osapi brother. He believes in Osapi Bible. He's also a vegan, vegetarian.
Mhm.
You know, and I've been riding with him for a long time, and he's been a personal friend of mine for many, many years. Even when I went against Yeshua, him being messianic, it never forced him to leave me. He always respected me. So, I'm that type of dude that at the end of the day, I'm a real man and I'm a real brother and I'm a real person. And so long as our differences don't allow us to disrespect each other, I think it's okay. Not only okay, I think it's imperative that there exist differences to some extent, because if me and you agree on everything, there's no growth in our conversation.
Facts.
There's growth in our conversation when there's elements of truth that you agree or disagree with, and the vice versa could be said about me. Then our conversation is significant because we can both raise each other to a higher bar and a higher level.
Big facts, big facts. Yo, you remind me of my cousin. I'm gonna get this nigga online one day. I say, yo, Design Lexx do remind me of you, son. Cause but and I'm gonna be up there next year, Labor Day. You know what I mean? We link up and do some fetting. You know what I mean? Cause you Guyanese, right?
No doubt. Well, my dad is from Jamaica, so yeah, half.
Yeah, you West Indian, my nigga. So we gonna go
all the way.
You know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? So
all the way. I was at Labor Day this year. I don't miss it yet, but that's because my family plays sound station, got sound systems.
Who they be with? Like what
my father has a sound called Supertone. And
Supertone?
They used to have Supertone. They from out of the Bronx.
Okay.
And they used to cut dub plates in my grandmother's basement for Jacob Miller. Miller that used to be with Bob Marley. So when people familiar with reggae history in New York City, you know that when a reggae artist would come to New York City to record music, they would record in one of two places. They would go to a place in Flatbush called, I know you know this, Don One Studio.
Okay.
Flatbush, the infamous Don One Studios. That's where all Jamaican reggae artists from Shabbat Ranks, Ninja Man, everybody, Shaggy, everybody would come there, right? So I had family members that worked in that studio. Then in the Bronx, my grandmother's basement was the original foundation studio for everybody that came through in the late 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s, man. So I got a lot of history, brother. A lot of history.
Yeah, man, you say your father a Rasta man, right?
Yeah, man.
You know the vibes. Yo, I love Brooklyn. I ain't gonna lie, yo. When I'm in Brooklyn, I'm at home like a mug. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna see if y'all got any questions for the God while he on. You know what I mean? I know he ain't got too long, but while we got him on, and be respectful. You know what I mean? Just raise a question. If he agree or disagree, just let it be. You know what I mean? So, Cosman, Lucy, Bazel, y'all got a question for the God?
So yeah, I got a question. So I apologize for misrepresenting because I thought that you didn't accept the entire of the New Testament. So when you say you accept the New Testament, do you accept the writings of Paul, the Pauline doctrines as well?
Yeah, I think Paul is best understood within the context of his skill set, right? Paul was a Pharisee. Paul learned under the leading Pharisaic sage of his era, right? When most people read in the New Testament that Paul's teacher is Gamaliel, and that was a Pharisaic doctor, yes, the obvious thing that everybody walks away with is that Paul's teacher was a Pharisee. What people don't realize, because most people don't study the oral tradition, is Paul's teacher wasn't a Pharisee. He was the Pharisee of that generation. He was the leading rabbinic sage. He even was the head of the Sanhedrin, which is called the Nasi at that point. And someone under him is being called the Beit Avdin. So Paul's teacher was the leader of the larger Pharisaic group of that era. So he's not just simply some random Pharisee. Paul's teacher was the head Pharisaic sage during that era, which would make Paul, being his direct disciple, somebody quite of great importance in terms of their skill set and their knowledge. So I could definitely tell you that Paul's teachings, while they seem very radical, if we're trying to understand that outside the context of the oral tradition, then yeah, it makes no sense. But if you're understanding the oral tradition, then what Paul is saying not only makes more sense, but it actually becomes truer. And I'm gonna say something that's controversial, if you don't mind. So we know that Paul seemingly teaches that people don't have to keep the Torah, and that's the major issue that our Messianic Israelites have an issue with Paul for, right? Why you out here talking about people don't got to keep the Torah? But remember, Paul's audience is predominantly Gentiles. And what Paul is essentially saying is that the Creator gave the 613 laws to Israel. There are certain laws that are that must be done by all of humanity, no matter what their race, their creed, their ethnicity. However, the majority of the 613 commandments were given to the children of Israel. Like, you can't go tell a Gentile, yo, you got to keep Passover. If you notice in the Tanakh itself, the only holy day that the Torah tells you that the Gentiles are going to have to keep in the Messianic era is Sukkot. And that's because during Sukkot, we offered 70 bulls on the altar, and each bull represented each of the 70 nations, and that was their atonement right after our Day of Atonement. So yeah, naturally they would observe Sukkot because there's a part of that a holy season and holy day that applies to them. Passover is significantly unique to Israel. It has nothing to do with them. So when Paul is speaking forcefully about not keeping the Torah, he's actually speaking to a Gentile audience, and he's telling them, if you choose to keep the Torah, you're a debtor to keep the whole law, right? Because what he's saying to them is, yes, the Creator is allowing for salvation for them, but they are not called to do what Israel is called to do. Israel is a kingdom of priests. Within the nation of Israel, there's no one that keeps more laws than the priests. The priests have far more laws to do than anyone else. So we already know within the nation of Israel, nobody keeps more laws than the priests. So if you take that into context and you look at the world, Israel is the priest of the world. So why would we expect that the rest of humanity have to do all 613 commandments in the way that we do?
Peace to the brother, man. I didn't hear if anybody asked him what his understanding was on Genesis 1:1, and does he believe that Jesus is creating in the beginning of Genesis?
It's a good question, man. It's a very good question. I'm going to choose to hold my tongue on that one because I have a lot to say that's controversial, and I want to reserve that for the right time and the right space. But I will tell you, it doesn't agree with the Old Testament stance, that's for sure.
So my bad. I'm over here thinking some.
Okay. And another quick question, because it seems to be. So my bad. So hold on one second. I was just. How do you justify? You was bringing up Paul. You dig what I'm saying? How do you justify Paul being a so-called apostle when in Acts, it describes what you have to do to be an apostle, and Paul doesn't fit any of those descriptions? How do you rationalize that?
Okay. So
I
first,
think that's Acts 2, or it might be Acts 21.
Okay.
Where Melly at, Joe? Because that's his topic right there. Where Melly at? Right. Matter of fact, peace to the God DJ. What's that? MF. Matter of fact, Madco. Peace, brother. All right. But yeah, Zion, if you want to go ahead and answer what he
I would love to, but I first would like for the brother to just clarify exactly what the position is as it pertains to apostles, so I could be clear not just on what it says, but his interpretation of that.
Okay, you heard it, Cosmo?
Okay, I heard it. It broke up a little bit, but I heard what he said. Like in the book of Acts, right? One of the
Put your window up because the wind was blowing.
I couldn't hear what you said. Put your window up. Oh, okay. Like for one of the things you had to have done to be one of Yeshua's apostles is you had to be with him when he was coming in and out of the cities on these journeys and these trips. You had to be one of these people. Paul, for instance, Paul was never there. He never even met Jesus.
Hold up.
You dig what I'm talking about? Never seen him, never talked to him.
Now, Maya left the verses, I think. It's Acts 1:22 through 26. I think if that's what you're referring to, because Nehemiah just posted it in the chat.
Hold on, my thing breaking.
Verses, I think, 1:22 through 26. I think that's.
He got some heavy feedback.
In Acts. Hey,
he got some heavy feedback.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a dip out and come back in, man. While you're answering, I'm gonna try to listen in. There are qualifications you have to meet to be an apostle, right? They're in Acts, all right? I believe it's Acts 1. It could be Acts 2. But we see the qualifications it takes for like James or Peter or any of these people to become apostles, and they're given in Acts. Paul doesn't meet any of those qualifications. I was just wondering, what is your justification, or how do you rationalize Paul taking any words from Paul, right, or anything from Paul whatsoever, when Paul was an Edomite? One, two, he was with the people who were against Israel, who are the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They were the enemies of true Israel. And so how do you justify him or taking account into his words when he doesn't actually fit the ramifications it takes to actually even be an apostle? And could that be the reason why Paul was under so much pressure, you know what I mean, and almost got killed? You know, because remember, they were saying he was a false preacher. So could that lead into that? And how do you justify that, rationalize it?
Okay, so I'm gonna begin by first, saying things the way it's said in the area I'm from, when we don't want to sound like we're trying to be rude. So I'm gonna say respectfully, I disagree with pretty much everything you just said, and I'll explain why. First and foremost, Paul is not an Edomite. New Testament itself tells you that Paul is of the seed of Benjamin, right? So if Paul were an Edomite, we would have to have some type of corroborating evidence, either in the New Testament itself or some secular history that validates what you're saying. So the New Testament presents him as a Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. So I'm not going to call Paul an Edomite. Secondly, yes, Paul is of the Pharisaic school, and yes, Yeshua has an issue with Pharisees. But here's where context comes into play, and I think this is where a lot of people fail, because a lot of people don't realize that while I can condemn someone, that doesn't mean that I don't have respect for what they represent. So all throughout the Gospels, you will find Yeshua condemning the Pharisees left and right. Yet do not forget, in the book of Matthew 23:2, he told his disciples, the scribes and the Pharisees sit on the seat of Moses. Therefore, everything that they teach, that you shall do. But after their doing shall you not do, because they say and not do. So he does two things there. He tells you first to follow everything they teach. And I just want to stop there and tell you, I had some amazing teachers coming up in the Israelite community over the past 30 years. But with all due respect, there's not a single one of them that I could actually say follow everything they teach. So if Yeshua said follow everything the Pharisees teach, I'm going to let you know right now, he has great respect for their knowledge base. That's what that says. Secondly, he says they say and they do not. So he's calling them hypocrites. And the most important thing to understand about a hypocrite is that a hypocrite is someone that knows the truth, but consciously in their actions chooses to behave otherwise. But the most important thing is that a hypocrite has the truth. So if their understanding is completely false, he wouldn't call them hypocrites. He would call them ignorant. He would just call them wicked, but he wouldn't call them hypocrites, because the hypocrite, the person you call a hypocrite, is first someone that knows and is in possession of what's right. A lot of people miss that part, right? So the fact that Yeshua tells his followers to follow everything that the Pharisees teach is Yeshua telling you to respect their knowledge base. What he doesn't respect is the fact that they are hypocrites because they don't practice what they preach. So let's not lose sight of the fact that while he condemns them for the traditions that they have added, he still puts great respect on their knowledge base, right? If you understood the teachings of Yeshua and you understood the teachings of the Pharisees, and you look up all of the schools that were around the sects during his period, you would know that Yeshua's teachings mostly aligned with the Pharisaic schools. The Sadducees or the Zadokites, they didn't believe in resurrection. Yeshua did. They didn't believe in the eternality of the soul. Yeshua did. But the Pharisees believed in resurrection, just like Yeshua. The Pharisees believed in the eternality of the soul, just like Yeshua. So when you actually look at what Yeshua taught and what he believed, the Pharisees essentially believed every single thing he taught. Their difference with Yeshua is they did not believe that he was the Messiah. That was their main difference with him. Because if you notice, when he is in dialogue with them and he's debating them, every time he answers them, they shut the hell up. There's no further dialogue. That's because they're acknowledging the truth of what he's saying. That's why the conversation stops as soon as he responds. You'll find in New Testament Gospels where it says, and the Pharisees came to trip him up and they said this. The moment that Yeshua answers, you'll always see they shut up. That's because they're accepting the truth of what he's saying. And my last point on the Pharisees is this. If the Pharisees are so wicked, right? Like Yeshua, in fact, rightly called them. He called them wicked. But if they're really so wicked, why would Yeshua use them as the standard of righteousness? Because I know for a fact Matthew says about the Pharisees, I know for a fact Yeshua says to his disciples about the Pharisees, he says, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees, you surely will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So if they don't have no righteousness at all, please tell me why would he use them as the very standard of righteousness? And I'll give an example as I land. I'll give an example as I land. If I have a son, which I do, and he's 14, and I'm telling my son, listen, son, I came up in the 90s, and Jordan was the man in that era. But if you want to get into the NBA now in 2023, you got to surpass Jordan. Because the dudes that's there now, they would have run through Jordan. Like, they are so more athletic. They could do so much more. Your skill, your game got to be better than them. If you notice in the conversation, I'm using Jordan as the standard of greatness. And I'm telling my son, if he want to get into the NBA, he got to be even greater than Jordan. That's exactly what Yeshua is doing. These are things that people don't pay attention to, but I'm a serious observer when I'm reading the text, to the extent that I'm going to make sure I'm breaking down everything. Yes, I'm going to notice that he condemns them, but it's also going to make me inquisitive in wanting to know why it is. Somebody's mic is open, is giving feedback, it's hard to talk. All right, so yes, he condemns them on the one part, but he also clearly bigs them up in several places. So I'm saying he can't entirely discredit their knowledge base when he tells his students to follow everything that they teach. He can't entirely think they're wicked when he uses them as a standard of righteousness. And I'll land.
Hey, I got a question. Selah, can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, go ahead. I think yeah, we can hear you good now. Yeah, go ahead. You got a question for Zion Lexx?
I got a question for you.
All right, what's going on?
Yeah, I've been following you for a long time. You're one of the first so-called conscious gods that, you know what I'm saying, that because a lot of the things that you make, that you say make sense. But I've really been following your main man's Sanchez, and everything that he says, makes sense. But I never heard him talk about Awaspy. I never heard him having any type of beef with you. Are y'all similar in each other's? I don't want to say thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find a better word, but you know what I'm saying? Are y'all kind of intertwined a little bit with the information?
No, I ain't never spoke to him before, but I've been seeing him for years. He's been around for years on here, but I ain't never spoke to him one-on-one. I know he go hard with the flat earth and all that. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not really the flat earth that I'm really, you know what I'm saying, deal with him on. Mm-hmm. It's more of us being trapped in this simulation and all of these false gods are pretty much the same. So when you're talking about Jesus, you know what I'm saying, you're talking about Allah, you're talking about, do you get what I'm saying? What do you think about that? I mean,
well, now this is where the Awaspy comes in, and it's it becomes potent, because the Awaspy basically shows us the title and ranks of angels, who is God, Lord, guardian angels, and the whole system of the heavenly proceedings is revealed in that book. And a lot of times you have these angels, they'll get to a rank of, let's say Lord, or Lord God, and they'll go against the main system of creator through the righteous true God, and they'll break away. Just like a gang, you got one organization that starts off under one brotherhood, a disagreement happens, and then they break away and form another brotherhood, and they may take even some of the people from the original brotherhood to establish this new brotherhood, and then over the course of time they go at each other, or instead of scratch that, before they even go at each other, another disagreement happens from the brotherhood and they break off. Now you got three brotherhoods, but the first brotherhood is the original source, the original law and order. But these other ones, they created a blueprint off of the original, and in return, it's like you worship me, I'm your God, you bow down to me and give praise to me instead of giving praise to the creator. So in a nutshell, you have a lot of deities wanting worship, and they're not the creator. And you see some of these encounters in history, some of these false gods, Baal, Shemaesh, and Ashtaroth, these different gods throughout history, even the Roman gods, even the Chinese and Indian gods. You have various gods, you know what I mean? Some of them came with a true message in reference to the creator, and some of them came with a message in honor to themselves. So you got to give sacrifice unto me. So, that's the good thing about Awaspy. It differentiates those who serve the creator from mortals to angels in comparison to those who serve false gods from mortals to angels. And the requirements of what is required from both parties is kind of different as well.
Why don't enough, like, I'm from Detroit. We see the Hebrew Israelites, we see Kemet, we see the Jehovah's Witnesses, we see the Christians, but we don't hear anybody talking about Awaspy. Why do you think it's that?
It's fairly and you know what? That's a good question, because even when I got the book, I was like, damn, how this book been around for so long and ain't nobody talking about it? Because for Zion Lexx, a Yachty put me onto the Awaspy. You know what I'm saying? A Jamaican put me onto the book. You know what I mean? So when he put me onto the book, when I was skimming through it, because he was like, yo man, it wasn't God that said the sacrifice of Isaac. It was an evil angel, and he cracked open the book and threw me the verse, and I started reading, and the first thing came to my mind was like, yo, what other book talk about Abraham? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's good to like about. So I'm reading what he showed me, and I'm like, damn, this shit making sense. You know what I mean? So after that, I investigated the book, and then when I realized, I was like, damn, this shit been around since the late 1800s, and I seen an author who it was, John Newbro, the dentist, and all that. Like, all right, cool, but the information had me startled, because I was like, damn, there's some different shit. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody even know about it, because when I went on YouTube, ain't nobody had no videos on it. I'm the first nigga to, how our Soldier Boy be like, I'm the first nigga to do this or whatever. I'm the first nigga to do YouTube videos on the Awaspy.
They copied my whole style.
Yeah, King. So, I put the information out, and of course I got attacked, man. I got people coming at me, oh, the white man book, everything you could think about. When I first brought this book out, I got attacked, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, I wasn't on a rebuttal. I would just put out the information, because I was like, man, this shit got to be brought out, because it's dope, whether if you like it or not. It's just information that the people may want to check out over time. So, you know what I mean? And look where we at with it now. We got a whole clique called the Creator Gang, and they own it. They investigate it. We all share information and see what we could pull out, what more we could pull out. You know what I mean? Because it's vast. The book is thick. You see it like right here on the thing, it's thick. So, but
Selah.
You go ahead, Ken.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to, add in a little bit to what the brother was asking. He asked the question, is what we teach like what what's his name?
Sanchez.
Yeah, no. I would say no, for the most part. You dig what I'm saying? Being that, we're always objective over here. We don't say anything and then don't prove it. You know what I mean? And more to an analogy, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I want to put it in an analogy that the brother would understand, that even a broken clock is right twice a day. Not saying that the brother ain't got some knowledge, or he not doing what he doing. We not saying that. You know what I mean? We just saying it's a different level of information and insight. And as into the whole part of why don't we see nobody out here except the Creator Gang actually even pushing this information for the most part? Well, one, our book teaches us don't try to cram this stuff down on nobody. Don't let everybody come to it in their own way, in their own time, how they can get to it. You dig what I'm talking about? It teaches us that. And then secondly, there's a prophetic nature about Awaspy also, where for the most part, it was held back on purpose, right? 159 years, right? 159 years exactly from the beginning of the Cosmon era, and then his people will take the book and make the very next steps. And then it also tells you who those people are today. So I think a lot of the reason Awaspy hasn't been out there is because of the nature of Awaspy and what it actually says. You know what I mean?
It could be
in Awaspy, it tells you what happened to slave masters. Yeah, it tells you what happened to slave master. What's going to happen to the country? What's going to happen to slave master children today in 2023? See what I'm saying? It warned us about COVID, not only how to deal with the virus, but how to deal with the jab. This is why the fakers didn't get sick. You dig what I'm talking about? So I think it's the information. If you was a demonic Drujan god who has been ruling for the last couple thousand years, and you had a book, and a book came out that you were set up for thousands of years, you know what I mean, in one fell swoop, I would hide that too. I would empower every demonic spirit I had in my way to stop people, or the Most High's people, from actually reading this book. I would tell you stuff. Oh, it's a white man. I would play on racism. I would play on your biases. I would play on your prejudice. I would play on your ignorance. You dig what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I would play on all that just to stop black folks from reading the book, or stop inspired people from reading the book, because then they'll go and change the world.
Yeah,
right?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if the brother got a question for Zion.
Yo.
Yeah. What do you think about the like dealing with the chakras and the auras and all of that? Does it, you know what I'm saying, do Awaspy speak on that?
Nah, not the chakras or nothing like that. No. But do you have a question for Zion Lexx?
Yeah, that was my question. I wanted to know what he think about it.
About what? The chakras and the
Yeah, do you think that's relevant for today versus the Awaspy?
All right, so shalom to you, good brother, DJ Myth Madco. Am I pronouncing your name right, brother?
Yeah, it's DJ motherfucking Madco.
There we go. MF Madco. I like that. DJ Madco. All right. So let me say this, good brother. I think the system of chakras, when understood from its origin, is relevant, but I think that would be relevant to a select body of people that are entrusted to deal with that, right? Like we have a Levitical order, we have a prophetic order. They study information that deals in the esoteric lore. And so a lot of the information that we see in New Age thought today, such as understanding chakras and things like that, this was considered elementary knowledge to our priestly class and the prophetic offices in the prophetic academies. So I think for those individuals who would represent the elites among the people, it's relevant for them, but I don't think it's relevant for the masses, right? Imagine a person in the Israelite community trying to study chakras, and they have no understanding for the foundation of what the Bible or Torah is even saying from the outset, right? So I think it's important that people study and master the foundation of their knowledge before they even endeavor to go into other areas of thought. And so I wouldn't say that it's relevant to the novice. I would say it's relevant to the initiate. It's relevant to someone who is operating from a much higher status.
Bet. All right, yo, Bazell, you got a question for the God?
Yeah, what's going on? Peace, peace, man.
Hey, peace.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, do you believe in the 7-day creation story?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so where it says that God, he created the heavens and the earth and he rested on the 7th day. I wanted to know, why does he need rest from speaking things in existence? Why do you need rest for?
Good question. He didn't say rest, however. He said cease. The word Shabbat denotes cessation, stopping. The word nafash in Hebrew denotes resting. The word noach in Hebrew denotes resting. Shabbat does not denote resting. So the text is not saying that he rests. The text is saying that he ceased.
So he ceased?
Yeah, there's a major difference between me saying that I've done all I'm doing as opposed to me saying, all right, I'm tired, I'm resting, right? There's a clear difference between that. So when you go into the language is not saying resting. And this is the problem with people that just want to read these scriptures in the English language. All of the English text will tell you rest. The moment you pull up the Hebrew, it tells you cessation, cease, stop.
Okay, but I'm trying to figure out. So you're saying he ceased, or break it down to me though? Like, what did he do?
So,
break it down.
I want to be clear. This is not what I'm saying. Like, if you knew the language itself, and I don't mind showing you if you don't mind. I don't mind pulling it up on the screen. I can actually show and prove what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can pull it up if you want, King.
All right, so let me do that. All right, when everybody could see my screen, please let me know. I'm gonna present right now.
All right.
And there's no tricks in what I'm doing, because what I'm gonna show is not just in the Hebrew, is you're gonna see it in the English too. So you guys can see my screen?
Yeah, we see it now.
Okay, so if you look at verse 2 of Genesis 2, it says, on the 7th day, God finished the work that he had undertaken, and God ceased on the 7th day from doing any work. Not rested, ceased, right? The translation that I'm using is going by the original Hebrew, right? Ceased, where the word is shavot, right? He ceased on the 7th day. The word is Shabbat in Hebrew, right? Shin beit tav. This is the root word right here that you're going to see me highlighting. I'm going to even pull up the definition right here. Look at the definition, everybody. To cease, to desist, to rest. Cease, cessation. Not that he rested.
Rest, right?
No, it doesn't. You have to understand that. Hold on.
Yeah, they're actually synonyms.
Hold on a moment.
They're synonyms.
Right. So these are synonyms, right? So there's you have to understand again what's being written here. It says he ceased from the work. Some people interpret that, or would rather use the synonym of rest. Rest within the context of God obviously don't make sense. Therefore, the proper definition is not that he rested, he ceased. The word Shabbat can denote rest, or it can denote cease. Because we're talking about the creator, we know we're not talking about resting, we're talking about cessation.
So since he didn't cease, since he ceased, then why does everybody rest on that day?
So we don't rest on that day, because if we rested on that day, we wouldn't be told in the Torah that we have to come out to a congregation. So if you notice in the book of Leviticus, it literally tells you that these are my feasts and my holy days, right? These are my holy convocations, or in Hebrew, my mikra kodesh, holy gatherings. So we're supposed to come outside of our house and keep these holy days. A lot of people don't know that because a lot of people are Israelites because of YouTube and Instagram and never really belong to an organization or a congregation. So they don't know that on the holy days, you're supposed to come out for a gathering to a holy space and place, right? So nobody's resting, right? You're supposed to come out and congregate with your people. We're not at home resting. Only thing that we did was we ceased from work for hire, work for labor. That's what we did, but we did not rest. So that's two things that you're saying wrong consecutively, because no, we're not resting. We come out on the Sabbath. Every Shabbat, I go out to the temple, right? Sometimes I go out early in the morning and sometimes I go out later in the evening. That depends on whether or not I'm speaking in New York City or I'm speaking in other places. But the point is, I'm never home all day. I'm always out at some congregation somewhere, because it's, I'm sorry, somebody's mic is open, and literally every time I speak, I can hear myself.
You can mute your mic.
I
can hear myself.
You can mute your mic.
And I'm not going to be long because I don't want to hog it. But again, that's two things. I believe that's two things being incorrectly stated, right? Because no, we don't rest. That would mean we just stay in our house and we're not doing nothing all day. But no, we come out and we praise the Creator, right? The Sabbath, like every other holy day, is called in the Hebrew Bible a mikra kodesh, which literally means a holy gathering. You're supposed to come out of your house, congregate, be among your brethren and your sistren, and praise the Creator. So no, we're not resting. We cease from work for hire.
Damn. You got another question, Bazal Lucy?
Well, oh, my bad.
I was just gonna say that. I don't know, Cosman. Every time your mic is open, there's like strong feedback. No, I was just going to point out, I'm glad Design cleared that up, that it's not rested, it's ceased. But that's where the Awaspy and the Tanakh would disagree, because in the Awaspy, Jehovah never ceases work. Just to clarify. Not to argue, just. So I don't know if he's asking from that perspective. But yeah, when he says ceases from work in the Awaspy, the Jehovah never ceases from work. There's always constant. The vortex is constant. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I was gonna say, most people don't, they kind of locked in to one system and they don't read outside of that system. And then the brother cut himself because he double talked and said that the Creator ceased being the Creator. You dig what I'm talking about? If the Creator ceases for 1 second, 1 millisecond from creating, he is no longer the Creator. You dig what I'm talking about? So that's a double talk, oxymoronic kind of point. So he kind of cut himself. Secondly, you dig what I'm talking about? To be, to assume that we aren't well read. You know what I mean? When he said that, and when I told him for a fact.
All right, I'm gonna say something really quick, brother. Usually I don't cut anybody off, but there's no need to say that something is moronic, right? I'm not calling you moronic for your views. Like if me and you disagree, that's simply a disagreement. No, but you did say it was moronic.
I didn't say that you were moronic, bro. I said the statement is kind of oxymoronic because it fights itself.
So who made the statement, brother? Me, right?
I think it doesn't mean you're a moron.
So all right. So what I'm saying is,
mean you're a moron.
What I'm saying to you is, brother, they gotta be a better way for brothers to communicate. Like if you notice on this live stream, I don't have to say any of that about y'all, and I disagree with some of your views vehemently. But I'm a brother enough and I'm righteous enough to make sure that when I carve my words, when I word my words, that in no way, shape, or form does it belittle you.
Well, as part of the question, I would.
Hold on.
Well, I was just letting them know that God.
Hold on. Yeah. Cosmo, just keep it to the question. If you feel that he cut him, just state the point where you feel he cut him, and then if you want to address it, you address it. But just, you know what I mean?
Right, because I want to clarify. Right.
That's all I was doing.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. So what you slightly disagree with, you know what I mean? Just address that and maybe he could clear it up because he did clear up. He went to the Hebrew school that it means cease and all that. So you know what I mean? Just take it down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Can I say?
Yeah, like I was saying.
What I'm saying, I don't think that he's saying.
Hold on, I can speak for myself.
From working, I just think that he just said that they never rest. But the way that we take the definition of rest is still a synonym of cease. So that's how I got it. I don't think that he, said one thing, and I don't think that he double talked. I got what he said because I'm listening real clear for him to fuck up, so to speak. So, and from the information that I got, I'm an OG.
Thank you, OG.
I listen real good.
I appreciate you, OG.
Waiting for him to double talk. He cleared it up. He pretty much said, like, we don't stop because he do go out and he do this. He just said on that day, they just rep. I get it. That's it.
Hey, yo, Cosmo, he from your city too, boy. He from your city, King.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You did what I'm talking about, but that ain't what I was saying. And Zion, he spoke for himself, and we understood what he was saying. I understood what cease means. Cease means to stop. So there, he cleared it up in Hebrew. He cleared it up in English. I'm just saying it cuts his ideal of who the creator is if he's saying he stopped for anything at any time for any reason, because the creator would be his own rest or his own cessation he would never cease, since he is the beginning, the first and last. So we not I was just saying that kind of kind of refutes the claim that he's making. But
so if you don't mind, I would like to respond to your statement.
Hold on 1 second, and then you can go ahead. And I was just saying to clear up the point in the Nazarene text about Paul being an Edomite, right? We all know that Herod and his father Antipater, right, were both Edomites.
But hold up, before you go in, Cosmo, I think he probably want to address what you just said, because that's something you're going somewhere else with it. So let him address, because I think he wants to piggyback on what you just said, just for clarity purposes. And then if you want to ask him about the Paul lineage, then you go into that. And that's if he still got time. If you want to, even address that, because he just hopped on. I don't know what type of time he got.
Thank you, brother. This is gonna be my last point, because obviously we want to have a debate, so we don't want to give up too much in front of people. So this will be my last point. So the text is clear when it talks about what the creator ceased from doing. The text never said the creator ceased from working for all eternity. Like I'm almost insulted in this moment that the brother would even think that somebody like me thinks that the creator and creation is not in a constant state of being moved, being worked. Of course, I understand that. That's the most basic and fundamental premises within creation. However, the text does say he ceased from the work which he had done on that day. That's key. It didn't just simply say he ceased. It said he ceased from the work which he had done on that day. It literally says that in the Hebrew and even in the English, from the work he did on that day. Not that he ceased from working, because we know that the universe, even from science, is eternal. If it's eternal, it's in a constant state of expansion. That alone lets you know that things are always in the upwards flow, moving, creating. We know that. That's basic. And I would hate to think that you would think that I wouldn't acknowledge that. But the point is, he ceased doing that which he had done on that day, not that he had ceased working entirely. That's the major point here. So this is why a rebuttal is necessary, because sometimes you might assume I'm saying something that I'm not entirely saying, and again, our differences are just that, our differences. And what I would like to see more in our community as brothers is us treating our differences in a more brotherly way. Because when I was talking to Selah Shalom and expressing my differences, I'm not referring to the views that he's sharing as being oxymoronic, even if that's what I think, because I'm brotherly enough and righteous enough to know how to deliver my point to my brother without sounding anything close to disrespecting him or what he's saying. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm on a different level when it comes to having respect for brothers.
Hey, Zion on that Brooklyn code right there. That's that Brooklyn code.
Yeah, and plus, the Brooklyn code is you're going to need people to keep energy.
Being from Detroit, we,
Hey, y'all Detroit niggas is wild though. Y'all Detroit niggas is wild, bro.
I mean,
every nigga I met from the D is a wild nigga, man. That's Sulu Cosmo. That's my nigga. But
if we do be in our feelings, okay.
No, it's all good. But like you said, we just want to keep the brotherly because
right, we just want to, we spit our shit without trying to hurt somebody's feelings. That's how we are.
Yeah.
We can't really take Cosman like that. We just real like that.
I ain't want your feelings to be hurt, bro. What's up, boy? I ain't want your feelings to be hurt, man. You dig what I'm saying? I just call it how I see it. I thought not that you are oxymoronic, that the statement is oxymoronic. I didn't mean nothing by it, and I ain't want you to get in your feelings about it, brother. I ain't mean nothing by that. For real.
I'm glad you said that.
We got some. Oh,
I'm glad you said that because I think that now I know for sure you definitely mean it. Because I'm not in my feelings. I'm just stating a point. If brothers, there's a certain way that brothers talk to each other, right? That's not me being my feelings. That's me being a man telling another man that we should definitely make sure that we keep respect for one another. So the fact that you said, I don't mean for you to get in your feelings, lets me know that you meant to disrespect me. And that's okay. Because one thing I know, you definitely ain't going to keep that energy in person. And with that, I'm going to say salute to my brother Selah. I see you outside the TV, good brother.
Keep it brotherly, man. Keep it brotherly. Keep it brotherly. Yeah.
Peace to the guys.
I'll beat your ass while you playing.
Relax,
Come on, man.
Come on. You're a wild nigga, boy.
I'm just saying, man. I didn't threaten that boy. I didn't threaten him. Hold on. I ain't threatened cuz. You dig what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing to him that would hurt his feelings. Or
you know what I mean? Once niggas learn each other's personalities and ways, you know what I mean? It'll flow smoother because that's your first time talking. So he don't know more than cutting, you know what I mean? So nigga, you talk like that to me.
It don't matter.
I mean, but that's like Cosmo. Hold up. Cosmo the nigga that gives you the tough love. You know, you got some niggas in the crew that ain't gonna sugarcoat it with you. That's kind of gonna be like raw up front. That's Cosmo. You know what I'm saying?
That's niggas from the D, man. That's niggas.
Yeah,
from the
once
D.
you get to know Cosmo, you're gonna realize like, yo, that's one of the niggas you need on the team because he's gonna make sure you on point at all times. Even if he wrong, he's still gonna try you to make sure to show. Like if I feel you wrong, nigga, if he feel I'm wrong, I gotta show him to make sure I'm on point. And they're like, you know what, Selah, all right, you right. I was checking you. I'm just checking you, Selah, to make sure that's all that is. But it's all love because y'all don't know each other, so personalities clash, and that's what everybody. You know what I mean? So once niggas get over that hump, it's smooth sailing. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Cosman, man, don't you agree, man? We ain't into no sugarcoating, and I think Cosman really didn't even really go off because he ain't really check his temperature. We could check niggas' temperature just to see, how they cut. You know what I'm saying? And he just didn't pass it to me, man. How they cut. You know what I'm saying?
I did. And that's the crazy part. He just checked his own temperature. He must have felt some type of way. See, the thing is, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, but I wasn't disrespectful to that brother. He heard the word moronic and instantly took that upon himself. That says about what he's saying. I just said what he said was moronic. It cuts itself. If the creator ceases for any second doing anything, he's not the creator. You dig what I'm talking about? Then he double talked himself again, saying that I hope you didn't believe that. Well, nigga, you the one said rest and cessation are different when they are synonyms, right? In Hebrew. In Hebrew, it's the same word. The translation is not incorrect. Cessation or ceasing or rest could be there. That's all I was saying. You dig what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. You dig what I'm talking about? So he got in his feelings and see what it was he thought I was going, because brotherly love, black man, and all that shit. Nigga, I don't give a damn about none of that. All I'm trying to do is get to the truth. You dig what I'm talking about? I don't care about none of that. You dig what I'm talking about? So is you gonna be my brother when you don't like me? Or you my brother when you only like me? See, I don't like that fake shit. And that's how you check a nigga temperature. And I will have this same shit in your face. Now, You dig what I'm talking about? Got me fucked up, bro. You dig what I'm saying? That's how you, but that's how you check a nigga.
It's tough love.
You dig what I'm talking about? He instantly got into his little feelings, man. It's crazy. All the time, nigga, we ain't soft. You could have said my statement was oxymoronic. You said you. Hey, look. How many times did he say? Hold on. How many times did he say right in there? Well, I don't know if you read. See, you don't read the Hebrew, nigga. We read Hebrew just like you do. You dig one time? How many times did he make an assumption we hadn't read the text, or we had only read that text? So when I brought up the Nazarene text, where Paul say, where Paul say out of his mouth that Herod is his kinsman, nigga, he an Edomite too. You dig what I'm talking about? No, I'm not gonna be nice and soft with you hoe ass. I'm out when you get into your feelings when we just talking.
Yeah, facts.
But I said I didn't agree with what you said. I was just rebuttaling what you said, and to show you where to go show. Paul says that Herod is his goddamn granddaddy. That's all I was saying. You dig what I'm talking about? You ain't got to worry about me.
Because Bazell originally asked the question. That was Bazell's original question. So as a response to that, what you take on that?
Yeah, I have fell off, but I was gonna tell him it means the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a synonym. I have fell off, but I was gonna tell him it means the same thing. Like,
it's a synonym.
Yeah, you did say that, cuz, but it was a synonym.
You did say that, cuz, but it was a synonym.
So this should be interesting nonetheless. What's up, Lucy? You back on?
So this should be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, my bad. That's just like strong feedback.
Oh, yeah,
that's probably my thing, man. My bad. I'm a mic up.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Cool. Nah, I just, I went back. I shot Zion Lexx a voice message, you know what I'm saying? So just to kind of see where he's at. Because I still wanted him on. I wanted to ask him like a few more questions. But, it went left and shit. So it is what it is.
So what do you think about the last question before he left about the breaking down the cease? And
he clarified it for me because I'm over here thinking it's rested, but at the end of the day, I mean, he still stops. You know what I'm saying? He rested for that day. So I would just have to go back. Of course, I disagree because in the Awaspy, the creator never it doesn't stop. Like that's what was it said? Vortex to warp. W-A-R-K.
He did clarify that the creator keeps on creating.
But he does say that he stops that day. He keeps his work.
Yeah, exactly, because we know the 7-day creation. So based on the narrative of the story, it is a ceasing moment. In comparison to if you cross-reference into a watch, like you were saying, understand the vortexia, you see that vortexia is created and dissipated endlessly throughout the cosmos. So it's like you can't really put a pinpoint, you can't really put a beginning nor an end on when creation starts or beginning. The only way we have an idea of a beginning and the ending is through the 4 ages. Time of creation, habitation, barrenness, dissipation, and then the cycle starts over again. You know what I'm saying? So, you was about to say something, Cosmo? No, go ahead. Lucy Bazell.
I was just saying that's double talk. That's what I'm saying is oxymoronic. Exactly what Lucy brought up. You dig what I'm talking about? You can't have it both ways. You can't then say, oh, you can't cease, and if the creator ceases, then he ceases to be the creator, and then turn around and tell us that he ceases.
Right.
You can't have it both ways.
Right.
That's what I was saying was oxymoronic, and that's what they don't like. That I call it how it is. That's crazy. The whole statement is crazy, and then he gets bezel. But see, I don't like people who throw punches and hide their hands. See, they tried with the words. He tried it with the words. Your whole idea, brother, is just wrong. You dig what I'm saying? No, nigga. He asked you the question: did he cease? What did he rest for? Why would he need rest? You went to rest and cease is somehow different when they're synonyms. Right. That's like trying to say kill and murder is different.
Right.
And don't
You
forget
can't have it both ways.
Don't forget though.
he's
Would you
speaking
tape us
these
out?
things.
Would you take us out?
I'm saying in the scripture it says that he's speaking these things. So he rested from speaking. Let there be light, and then there was light. Speaking. You feel me?
Cosmo want to talk bad, boy.
You must got another page open. Another page open with the screen going.
I think it was just really what it is, bro. You know, I think it was the energy, because I felt the energy. You know, and we all know that, you know, I mean, with Cosmo sometimes, dog, you know what I'm saying? He comes on, there's disagreement, he might have it was kind of like, it was a little aggressive. So I think he's more or less responding to the energy. So when you said what you said, I mean, if you would have said it more lightly and shit like that, he might not have said anything about it. That's why he clung to the words that we were using, because it was the energy you feel, because I'm like that. Like, I hear you.
This is exactly what you brought up earlier before you even came on.
That's what I was saying, because I'm the same way. Like, I'll be honest, I'm a cat that I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm sensitive, you know what I'm saying? So like, you could be telling me something and I hear what you're saying, and it may not be malicious, but your energy, I feel your energy, and your energy is telling me something different. So some cats respond off the energy. You know what I mean?
I mean, you get what I'm talking about, and I was just, you know, the whole fact is that and it's the whole fact that you did what I'm saying. What he was saying, the book ain't saying. He was just spouting his opinion about the book. You know, you dig what I'm talking about? I get it. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what we was all taught coming up 30, 40 years ago. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what we was all taught. But I believe what I believed as a child, but as a grown man, I need objective proof, right? And that book ain't showing me no proof, because I'd have just asked the question. If that was the question, I'd have just asked your God, say he creates the heaven and the earth in Genesis 1:1. We want to know how. How did you do it? We don't give a damn that you said you did it. Prove you did it. Because if you can't prove it, your word ain't shit. And I'm talking about to the God or to the, hold on, I'm talking about.
The proof is the 6-day creation story. That's supposed to be the breakdown of God creating. Although it's vague, but that's supposed to be the breakdown.
And then the crazy part is that don't even line up objectively with creation. How the hell you make plants all across the world in 24 hours in the dark before you made the sun? But neither here nor there. I'm asking how he did it. He said he created it. I didn't say that. I didn't say he created it. He said he created it. Well, nigga, show me how. Other than that, you just talking. Now, if a nigga get his panties in a bunch because a nigga talk loud, or you dig what I'm talking about, it is what it is. I'm not gonna stop being Cosmo no time soon.
Cosmo and Cal, nigga.
You dig what I'm talking about? This boy's gonna get on your nerves. I'm just saying, he tried to put that energy on me. No, nigga, I told you from the get-go. I didn't do that. You got into your feelings about what I'm saying. I told you I didn't say that about you. I said it about your statement. You made it personal. So now, nigga, wear that shit. You wanted to wear it, nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? I didn't put that on you. You put it on yourself.
Cosmo,
it don't matter no way, because you're going to get your head bashed in, nigga, as soon as you come in.
So good, son. So, yo, check this out,
Get your head bashed in. Bring that God off the court.
And he took the debate, so you know what I mean. I still got the same lineup. So, you know, we're just gonna clarify who Creator is and who this 7-day creation God is. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna clarify all these things. Cosmonian. That's Cosmon Cal. Y'all don't think Cosmon Cal. Now you know Cosmon Cal. Y'all see how you give it up, man. You want uncut. Them Detroit niggas. I told you them Detroit niggas wild, man.
I told you them Detroit niggas wild. I'm just saying that shit don't work. You dig what I'm talking about? That old, yeah, brother, you know how man, that shit don't work up here, nigga. Nigga say that shit for abroad. You dig what I'm talking about? Ain't nobody trying to hear that. We just want to see the truth. We don't want your opinion about it.
We're gonna clarify.
We don't want none of your opinion about it.
We're gonna clarify all this on Saturday. I'm gonna go ahead and nip it in the bud. We're gonna expose their God, and then we're gonna celebrate like we've been doing, taking these victories. You know what I'm saying?
You know how we do.
What's up, Lucy? What's up, Bazell? Talk to me.
What's up, Lucy? What's up, Bazell? Talk to me.
Yo, I'm pulling up for the after party.
You better do it. What'd you say, King?
I said I'm gonna have to pull up on you for the after party after you win the debate on Saturday.
Yeah. Tazaryach lucky he fucking ducked, boy.
Man, that shit's gonna be so embarrassing.
Yeah, I was gonna do him dirty. I was gonna do him dirty. With Zion, I'm gonna just show and prove with the information. I ain't gonna get rah-rah with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just goddamn show and prove with the information. But Tazaryach, nigga, I was gonna get dirty with that boy. He was gonna look bad, but I'm telling y'all, he was gonna look bad.
Are y'all keeping the same topic?
Yeah, which book is better for our people? So I'm gonna just keep the same lineup that I got. Being that we did get Zion on the phone, and we did confirm that, you know what I mean, he believed in the 7-day creation story. He said he believes in Paul, and when you asked him, do he believe that Jesus created the heavens and the earth, he said he didn't want to show his hand with that. So it may be some validity where he may have a belief in that.
And that's why I was going to follow up with some of the other questions, like was he aware of, like, when it comes to Paul, was he aware of, like, the arguments against Paul? You know what I'm saying? Also, how there were sectarian Jewish Christians that disagree with Paul. Was he aware of that? And also, was he aware of the alternative Jewish Christian beliefs about Jesus? How some believed that, you know, they didn't believe he was divine, he didn't pre-exist, but then believed that he was born of a virgin. And then you had other sectarian groups that believed that he wasn't divine and that he wasn't born of a virgin. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to ask I was going to ask if he was privy to those other arguments. And that was pretty much it with that. I had no intention of trying to like debate him or
if he wasn't privy, he better get privy.
Yeah,
pretty much, because that's what's gonna, you know, you want to know those things in case that shit gets thrown at you. You know what I mean? Like if you bring up Arian beliefs about Jesus or whatever, that it seems and that they don't agree with Paul. Right. That's why Malachi should have been here when Paul got brought up.
Yeah, that's like, Malachi, where your ass at, boy? You was supposed to have been on here with Zion Lexx with that Paul, boy. I would have had a great discussion. Y'all niggas need to be the ones debating each other with that Paul. But you know what? No. Who's not Zion, but
I knew he was listening, bro.
Daniela's supposed to get his head knocked off. He needed Mally and Daniela be a good debate.
But I knew he was listening, bro. I was getting ready to tell you before you hopped on. I said, if anything, Zion's probably watching. And then he just came on. I was like, yup.
Yeah, that's peaceful. We had a good bill, you know what I mean? It was a good bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Good bill.
I just talked to him. He said he will come back on. Not today, obviously.
Yeah, man. Shit, I don't even mind if you do a presentation on the channel.
Yeah,
that's all. Cosmo gonna be the best of friends in a minute. Cosmo gonna be the best of friends in a minute. That's all. I grew up and I got some wild niggas around me too, man. You know what I'm saying? I got some niggas around me where I gotta like calm them niggas down when we out and about, like, yo, chill, like niggas just ain't that time, you know what I mean? Some rowdy niggas, you know. He know that too, I'm sure, but y'all this y'all first time meeting, you know that shit go, man. This y'all first time.
And you always whoop your best friends. You always fight your best friends when you meet them. I done whoop some of my best friends. You dig what I'm talking about? So that's how brothers. That's how you get close. So you dig what I'm talking about? It's all good. I ain't scared of nothing.
Yes, sir. Bazell was good. Yes, sir.
That's how you do.
DJ M Madco. What you say? You got any questions for anybody on here? You know anybody other than me? You know Cosmo, you know Lucy, you know Bazell?
No, but I like to shoot Cosmo hit me up at DJ Madco #4 on Instagram so I can build with him here in Detroit. I'm over here on the west side over here in Brightmoor, man. But you know, I want to go back to that the book of Awaspy. You know what I'm saying? Like what is the like I heard a brother saying earlier that the COVID and can you tell me something about that? How he said that applied to today? You know what I'm saying? And more than like a Bible prophetic. You know, you see what I'm saying? The Bible prophecy. No, this is deeper than that.
Hey, Selah. Selah, do me a favor. Go to Book of Cosmogony, right? 8 and 15. Read that for the brother real quick. Book of Cosmogony. I think it's 8 and 15.
And real quick, I'm gonna drop off. I'm gonna talk to you guys later.
Hey, Mad Cole. Hey, Mad Cole.
Yeah.
Hey, this is 1881, right? That this information is being brung out. I want you to understand that the very first virus wasn't found till 1892, 11 years after Awaspy was written. I just want you to understand that. So inoculations, viruses, all this stuff, none of this stuff had even been found. The very first virus is called the Mosaic virus, and it wasn't found till 1892. Check this out. Watch what Awaspy said and apply it to 2023. Watch this.
Yeah, come. There we go. Go ahead. Matter of fact, you may want to go up one. You may want to start from like 13 before you go to 15. You want to do that?
Yeah, we can start there. Yeah, go up a little bit.
Yeah, start from 13 and bring it to 15. Really 16. All right. All right, go ahead.
Book of Cosmogony, 8 and 13. It is not sufficient for man to know how to prophesy, but he must learn how to overcome the elements of his surroundings. As previously set forth, there are regions of drought on the earth, and these man must learn to overcome by causing rains to fall. He shall provide explosive gases high up in the air, which shall break the wind currents, establishing vortices from the upper regions downwards. Now, mind you, this is cloud seeding, which didn't come around to World War II.
And then that's World like the
War II, and
that's like the heart machine.
Huh?
You know the heart machine. You know they got the heart machine. They send shit out to the ionosphere. They can do weather control modification.
Right. That's later, but the very first ones they used in the war over there with the Viet Cong, and they made it rain every day. They seeded the clouds, right?
Gotcha.
And so this is Awaspy is mentioning cloud seeding and breaking up atmospheria in 1881, 60, 70 years before it was even discovered. Now, it says in 8 and 14, when an epidemic is predicted, remember this is prophecy, when an epidemic is predicted for a city, man shall dissipate the falling sea-moo and thus save it from destruction. Now look at this. Mind you, this is 1881. First virus wasn't found till 1892. Look at what it say. The inoculation or vaccination of flesh with poison, vaccines, to save it from poison, bacteria, viruses, disease, is to use the battle axe of Satan. Man shall learn the higher law to save by virtue instead of vice. As to the grades, the student is referred to the book of judgment, knowledge, and elsewhere in Awaspy.
You know what caught me in this door right here, yo? You know what caught me in this door right here, yo? When it says, man shall dissipate the falling sinew, yo. That's heavy right there, because in order to do that, you gotta have some goddamn rockets to stop the shit of sun.
Well, remember they cloud seed now today with they do it with harp and all that stuff, but they also use balloons. Yeah, they use balloons. And right here where it says man shall dissipate the falling sinew, y'all know what that means, right? That means to turn a negative ion positive, or a positive ion negative, is to dissipate the falling sinew. So ionized air in your home, fresh air into your homes, you dig what I'm talking about? Being clean is why it helps to stop you from getting sick, because you're dissipating. See, a lot of people think diseases come out of the ground, right? And they believe diseases come out of the ground. They don't understand that they fall to the earth. How else could they be pandemic if they ain't everywhere? How do you get everybody sick everywhere all at the same time? It's got to be in the air. Even the water can't do that.
Yeah, that's the next thing. That's what I say, y'all. This is why Awaspy is heavy. We out here still deciphering this shit. Like, look what it say here. This shit is heavy right here. By causing rains to fall, he shall provide explosive gases high up in the air, which shall break the wind currents, establishing vortices from the upper regions downward. Just imagine you a nigga in 1882 reading this shit. You see what I'm saying?
You don't even know what he's talking about. You don't got no damn clue. And then what's the gas?
I have no clue.
You ain't the only one, bro. we all in the same boat. We didn't, none of us know this. JBN didn't know this. It came off his typewriter. He didn't know none of this.
You know, he shut down quick.
So you think that Masons know this?
You know, he shut down quick, so I don't know how long. Okay. I'm still doing my live too, so.
Okay, he said he's doing a live, so yeah. But we're playing a live.
Cosmic, you think
I couldn't hear you, bro.
You think the Masons know this?
Did the Masons write it?
About like 45 minutes.
Do you think that they know this information?
Yeah. Yeah, the Masons know it. Who you think been hiding it?
How
do you think?
Who do Awaspy? What do Awaspy think about the Masons?
Well, Awaspy well, first of all, let's get one thing clear. We don't rock with Masons, and no, JBN was not a Mason. As a matter of fact, there is a I want to say in the book of S, right? In the book of S, he tells us that in the lodges, right? In the lodges, that the dark that are in the dark corners hide the false gods. The false gods are hidden in the lodges, and they practice darkness hidden in their little dark corners. So why would the guy who says that about Masons and the lodges, dissing them, turn around and then be a Mason? What happened was the brothers got the book and read it just like anybody else. It's not till after 1881 that the Mason starts applying 33. Albert Pike didn't apply 33 to nothing. Right? Even Manly P. Hall in his earliest writings didn't apply 33 to nothing. But it's not till the early 1900s till they really got their hands on the book that they start practicing prophecy, and what you started seeing was 33 being their master number. The question is, why?
The question is, how do these people move all these years without us ever even knowing what they do? How do they control the world without us seeing it? It's called prophecy, because they're planning what's going to happen. So they're just not where everything is happening. So your hands always look clean. That's the whole point of prophecy. That's the whole point of 33. That's how JBN and the Faithists feel about Masons. If that's what you want to do, I met some Masons who dropped some super game on me. Told me some stuff, changed my life. But then I see Masons that enacted colonization in the United States. Huh? So y'all doing something. You dig what I'm saying? So the Awaspy is very careful about dealing with them. You dig what I'm talking about? Because we understand that who they serving. And if you listen to many of them, they tell you straight up, it's Lucifer. They tell you that is the God of the Bible. And mind you, they use the King James version of the Bible. They say the God of that Bible is the light bearer, aka Lucifer. It's right in there. They don't even hide it. They're not even hiding that. So, you know, that's how Awaspy
dropping the knowledge. You know what I mean? Hey, this nigga just sent me the flyer for the me and Giant Lexx and shit. I'm gonna try to upload it.
Let's go.
So it's the Torah verse.
Awaspy a heavy read, man.
It is. Yo, I just seen a little clip where y'all was talking with Tazaryach talking about something. From man, the Bible is just stupid and make no sense, and at least can't make it better than I kick back to y'all and shit. So I'm gonna go back and look at the little nigga excuse and shit like that. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
That's crazy, man. I kind of knew it was gonna happen, though. I knew it was gonna happen. He had to save face though from that butt kicking he took on Sarnetta. So I kind of figured it. He had to save face. So I knew, I just surprised that he even, actually even took the debate at all. Even was faking like he was gonna take it.
You think it came from the higher up?
Yeah, I believe. I believe so.
Yeah,
you dig what I'm talking about? After watching, cause see, a lot of people for some reason they thought I was the little homie. You dig what I'm talking about? They thought, we don't see Cosmon, you too wild. Yeah, when they seen Cosmon in action, I'm a motherfucking axe murderer. They see how I put that. They see how I put it together. Now it's not no joke. Oh, this the little homie? The little homie doing them like this? Oh yeah. We not about to go ahead tell Selah we're just white man book. You dig what I'm talking about? He served white God. Nigga, we not debating people who serve crackers. So you know what I mean? So they'll make up something. I was surprised he even came off the porch at all.
Thanks.
At all.
Thanks. Nigga on back out like the last minute. These niggas got a good habit of backing out at the last minute.
Hey God, how do I contact you, Cosmo?
Everybody can have my number, man. Just write it down real quick. It's 313.
Yeah.
656.
Yeah.
9541. 313-656-9541. Cosmon ain't hiding for nothing. Y'all holler at me, man. Hit your boy up, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna call you.
Talk to me. Hey, go over there to Cosmon Cal TV on YouTube and check out some of them Jehovah Chronicles videos and tell me what you think.
It's Cosmon Cal TV.
Yeah, I got a Cosmon Cal TV. I got a show on there. It's about 90
90-some videos up there so far.
All right, I'm gonna check out
Yeah.
some of that stuff, man. I got a code class I gotta go to, man. Peace to all the guys and the goddess. Peace to Selah, man. I appreciate this information. I'll hit y'all up later, man.
No doubt, King. Be safe out there.
Peace, bro.
Bazell, what's good, son? Talk to me.
Yo, what's going on, man? Hey, yo, we doing the topic of which which book is better for the people.
Did you see? Did y'all see the flyer just now when I posted it? Did it show?
Yeah, we seen it. I seen it.
Okay, cool. So it seemed like it's the same
What
shit,
it say?
really.
Put it up again, bro.
Say it again.
Put it up again, bro.
All right. Hold on, let me goddamn find real quick.
I ain't see it. I was rolling my little splipper-ting.
Splipper-ting, you done know.
You done know.
About that time.
Right. At that time for that small chronic break.
Yeah, Billy just finished. All right, here we go.
How?
What you about to say, Ken?
Nah, I was gonna say, how is the Bible a holy book? Because holy means set apart, right?
Yeah, it means set apart, right?
So how is that classified a holy book when the God is doing the same thing as Satan doing in the book? That's not set apart. That's not holy.
That's damn. That's something to think about.
Right, off rip, they're doing the same thing.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, Basil. I brought that.
You know what I mean?
So this is the title right here.
I brought that same thing up.
What is the Bible? What is better? What Bible is better for our people? The Torah or the Awaspy? That's the only thing that was changed, really. The King James to Torah. Then you got Zion Lexx.
So he's not using New Testament at all.
Well, he just clarified that he agreed with this. So you know, old or new, it's open. It's on the table.
So it's all in the Bible, right?
Right, yeah. Because what Bible is better? So you know, the Torah is really the laws by itself, but Tanakh is the laws, the writings of the prophets, and the other stuff.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other. You got to accept it all. You accept one.
Yeah, they all start off with the same creation story. So boom, family. That's it right there, yo.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna go in, man. You know what? I'm about to get ready to sign out, boy. We've been on here for damn near 3 hours and 30 minutes, boy. But it's a good build. This was a good build, you know what I mean? The good, bad, the ugly, you know. Like, I fuck with it all, you know what I'm saying? So
hey, peace, Eli, man. Appreciate everything, man. Peace, Cosmo. I'm holla at you.
Yo, Bazell, I was at Goodfellas the other night, son.
What happened?
I was at Goodfellas the other night, like in the 2 a.m. and shit.
Bro, I was just there last night.
Yo, yeah, that's my little spot, man. They stay open like till like 4 in the morning and shit.
Yeah, I be going there, you know what I'm saying, getting the midnight orders from the Uber Eats. So I'm always
yeah. I see a lot of customers coming in for that, yo.
Facts.
Word up.
So I'm gonna definitely holler at you though, man. You already know.
Yeah, we gonna link, King.
All right, peace to the chat, man. Everybody, love.
Got the big homie Cosmine Kill Out.
Man, you know what I'm talking about? Listen, y'all sub, like, share, thumb up the video, man. Go to Honor and Humility, STL, sub, like, share, Cosmine Cal TV, sub, like, share, Selah Shalom TV, sub, like, share, man, and breathe in. Let that light in, man. I'm Cosmine.
That's my man, Cosmine. Nigga, see you in the chat. You already know. Yes, family. So, you know what I mean? There you have it. We had a nice build today. You know what I mean? Create a gang in the building. I see y'all in the chat. We had the brother Zion Lexx come through and drop some great information and knowledge. So now Tazaryach, he ran. You know what I mean? I was checking out some of the video. He went in his mouth talking nonsense. So he chickened out. You know what I mean? Home of the cowards. They're not home of the goddamn warriors. These niggas is cowards. But he a coward. You know what I'm saying? And Zion Lexx took the place. So this is going to be a more mild, more subtle debate. You know what I mean? Because I was going to do your boy Tazaryach dirty, but, you know, we're going to nip that shit in the butter one time because that shit was going to be on record. But nonetheless, we're going to deal with Zion Lexx, and we're going to just show the information and let the information speak and make the shit make sense and show who the creator really is. And with that, family, your boy Selah Shalom is out. Salute till next time. We out of here. And it's a vibe like always, family. You dig? Let's run the rhythm.